Playing host to free agent wide receiver Zay Jones. He's the son of former Cowboy linebacker Robert Jones. Zay spent the last 2 years with the Jacksonville Jaguars. In other NFL news, former Reagan Rattler quarterback Kellen Mond was waived by the New Orleans Saints, while the Broncos released former Cowboys backup Ben DiNucci. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Yeah, baby! It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Good morning!
Wow, I got to adjust don't adjust your sets.
We got to bring the energy today, Rob.
That's some pepper.
That's what you do in the mornings out here. You got to be a wacky morning guy. Hey, everybody!
Cue the fart sound, right? Do we have a fart?
Yeah, horn, a clown horn.
I'm going to need some kind of douchebag nickname. If we're gonna do that, I got to come up with some kind of
Robbie Tickles,
something like that. I'm gonna have to Robbie Tickles on the Morning Huddle.
Yeah,
that would be about right.
There we go. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I am AJ Hoffman, the new wacky morning guy. Robbie Tickles across the table from me.
Yeah, there we go. I can do this.
And we've got a fun show prepared for you today. Unfortunately, we've got more NBA officiating controversy to get into, and we'll do that a little bit later. But I want to start the show with Robbie Tickles was wearing a tie last night.
Oh, yeah.
How about that?
I got to go. You say you can't go home again. I went home. Went back to the motherland, West Campus High School.
Yeah, how was that?
I got to, it's the first time I'd walked into that gym since the last time I stood on that gym.
Okay.
And host the last athletic banquet for West Campus High School. They're
in the history of time.
Well, they closed down before, and they might come back. But
it ain't over till it's over, they say. If they haven't taken the wrecking ball to it.
We're hoping. It was great to see the kids, see the place. Lots of good kids, good stories.
So where is this school exactly?
Far southwest side. See, South San West Campus is about 2 miles from Southwest High School, about 1.5 miles from South Side High School, and about 3 miles from South San High School.
Why do they put all these schools so close together?
Well, maybe I'm the distances, but it's the name. So we were at South. The true name of my alma mater is South San West Campus.
Okay.
They couldn't afford to find a real name. And like I said, close to Southwest, South Side, and South San, all within a proximity. We're all in the same neighborhood.
Okay.
And so we were always lost in the mix. I mean, West Campus. So we went by West Campus. That was the way.
That's how you differentiate.
That's how we separated ourselves. So we had. It was like
a mascot.
We were Cougars. We're the Cougars. Right. And South San, the other school in the district, is a Bobcat.
Okay.
So the school, there's been years of,
and then there was the Mountain Lions.
There's the Mountain with the Cougars, the Pumas,
the
Chupacabras,
the Onyx,
it was
the Lynx,
all of those. There's always West Campus. We always had the best athletes, and South San wants them. They're closing down the high school to take all the athletes.
Really?
That's what's going on. I'll just be real here.
They said we want the next Rob Thompson.
That's what they're searching. Well, the guy that helped the grade point.
Okay.
It was a tremendous evening, and it was coaches in the old house and all of that. So
was it an emotional night?
It was because it's a community of folks that feel like one of the anchors to any community is the school.
Yeah,
and it's being taken from them for the second time,
being ripped away from them.
Really. So nobody's happy about the situation, but we talked about transition and how.
Well, let's go. What's the other campus called? South San.
South San, go Bobcats.
No, not. I'm saying let's go like toilet paper the campus.
In my day, we would have done such things. But the irony of this is the head coach of the basketball team at South San. I played with at West Campus.
He's a traitor.
Yeah, he stayed in the district. The Czech is just the wrong campus, but now he's pulling all the kids over. The athlete of the year at West Campus is freshman, 6'4" dude.
A basketball player?
A little bit of everything. So I saw. I think he's
Okay.
still honing his skills, but
What's his?
I think he gained his notoriety on the football team.
Football.
No, their basketball team went by district this year.
Man. So they had all this success, and you're saying this is
Onward and
mostly
upward,
athletic
man.
based?
Yeah, well, no, I say that in tongue in cheek. The
Is the
long
campus
and storied
crummy?
no, it's a newer high school in the grand scheme of things. It was opened in '77, so in the grand scheme, it's newish.
And what about South Campus?
Oh, that's been open for 100 years.
Well, why would you close down the newer building?
Well, the size is an issue, but I agree but there's a funding issue. There's the old school idea of what the South Sand District wants to be and should be. They always felt like it should be like a Judson, this one big school. And
that's how the Dillon Panthers felt. And then when Dillon East opened, it was a big deal.
It mattered, so much so that they needed to make a series. And
then when Coach Taylor left for Dillon East, that was the big news.
Clear eyes, full hearts.
Can't lose, baby.
Yeah,
can't lose.
But to the fine folks down at West Campus, I thank you again for bringing me in. It was an honor to speak to the kids and see everything.
You were missed up at the Big Blind where we were at, and there was actually some listeners out there saying, "Where the hell's Rob?"
Rob was way on the south. You're driving around the neighborhood. You don't.
I think there was a guy there named I think his name was Ken, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, Ken, yeah.
And he looked like he was preparing to play a game of pickup at the Y.
Oh, really?
Like he had on the copper elbow sleeves, the copper knee sleeves. Like he's fully armored.
I can identify with the sentiment.
But he was like, "Where's Rob?" I said he had something to do, and he's like, "All right." But I played in the blackjack tournament. So Minix was talking smack to Joe because Minix, I'd never played in a blackjack tournament before, but
I can't even imagine.
I understood. When they explained to me the rules, my brain works in a way that I'm like instantly, okay, how do you win this?
What's the
optimal strategy? And basically the way it works is you've got 15 hands. You start with 1,500 chips.
You're going to play 15 regardless. Well, no, I guess if you can bid out.
You can play less.
Okay.
You can play less than 15, but it's a max of 15.
So if you wanted to, you could play one chip and get 15 hands dealt if you chose to.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's the min bet is 100. The max bet is 1,000. You start with 1,500. And Joe had the right strategy, which is be aggressive.
What's to hit at 18?
I mean, at one point I hit on 17, which I would never do at a regular blackjack table.
Cojones.
But the only way to win this thing is to be bold. You've got to split tens, which is something that you would never do at a.
See, I can't do that.
But again, you've got to maximize.
I get it. But I'm a fundamentally kind of very conservative with that. So splitting tens, it's just
but again, it's the guy with the most chips at the end of the 15 hands is the winner. So I doubled a 12 against a 5. And I got an 8, so I did well. But Jason was very conservative, and he's like, "Well, I'm on the leaderboard." This is my Minix voice. "Well, I'm on the leaderboard. Where are you, Joe?" And Joe is out. Joe he was aggressive and he lost
on it.
I was aggressive and I won. So when I left, I was at the top of the leaderboard. I don't know where I stand now.
What time did you exit?
So I was on air from what? Was it? Did we get on at 3 yesterday?
I think it was 3 to 4.
Okay, I was there 3 to 4. I probably left around 5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I'm worried about it. That's a little early.
It's a little early.
They're going to play for another 7-8 hours.
Yeah. But
hey, you're on the board.
I had a comfortable lead when I left.
Yeah.
800 chip lead when I left.
And what was the cutoff time? Midnight? 2?
I don't know.
They could still be playing.
But also, I realized I didn't give them my contact information.
Well, I'll vouch for you.
If I won, they're never going to know.
A voucher. Maybe it's a tab. Maybe we can. It's like you can't return the item for cash, but you get in-store credit.
A bar tab would be cool.
Maybe one just like a bar tab, which would be.
That'd be all right.
I'm putting words in their mouth, but if there's any kind of dispute, I think that would be an equitable.
But they have my name. I'm sure with just a name they can find me. But yeah, maybe there's a website somewhere that says, hey, here's who won. I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask Minix and Joe when I'm introduced today on the afternoon show.
And that it's possible that an AJ Hoffman won. But they don't know.
They don't know who
AJ Hoffman looks like.
Correct. I mean, I tipped the dealer, so I hope he remembers me.
So what did you tip the dealer? Did you tip the dealer a chip or cash?
Cash.
Okay, good. I like
the chips were worthless. Nothing.
Yeah.
I tipped him cash at the end. So so really, I paid. It was a $30 buy-in. I tipped him $10. So I've got $40 at play. We'll see if my chip count stood up.
How were the environs? Nice place.
Nice place. Yeah, very nice.
Was the dealer professional in your?
I think he was a poker dealer. So I'm sure when he's dealing poker, he's very good.
2-deck shoe, 3-deck shoe,
6-deck.
6-deck shoe.
Yeah, but you could tell, like, blackjack dealers in Vegas, they don't have to do the math in their head. They just know when the card comes out.
Robotic.
You busted, and then there's people at the table
counting.
trying to. Yeah, he's having, and I'm just like,
I don't mind that because I have to think too. So I don't mind if he's thinking.
My brain is pretty. I've played enough now that it's like I see the card, I know.
And most of us are like that. The other guy's thinking too.
So I'm like, that's 19. Well, he's like counting dots. I'm like, that's 19.
What's that ad method with the fingers? So he's over there counting. Like, I got one pink up. That's 19.
Yep. But it's good. It was good. It was a fun time, and we'll be back on with the Blitz here if I'm not. Here in studio. And then tomorrow we're at Tri-County Meats. Is that right?
Tri-County over on Huebner Road in prep for Mother's Day.
Huebner Road. Is that
Huebner?
It is spelled
Huebner.
Huebner, huh?
It's named after a former city manager of San Antonio, Tom Huebner.
Tom Huebner.
So it's Huebner, not Huebner.
Okay.
It's a difficult one. That's one of those.
I'm glad you said that.
Well, that's we use that as kind of a litmus test for newbies that come to town. And we don't tell you how streets are pronounced. And when you come to us, and you say, I'm looking for, it's over on Huebner, we secretly mock you.
What about
Wurzbach?
Wurzbach
is right.
That's right.
Harry Wurzbach, the Wurzbach family, founding group in the city. So yeah, Wurzbach is right next to Huebner, actually.
Okay. Look at me. I'm all over.
You're already a proud San Antonio.
Oh,
You've already had breakfast tacos and the like. You're bringing in kolaches.
Yeah.
They were good.
Yeah. Thank you, man. I made them myself.
I didn't want to know that.
I did not actually.
I've been assured you purchased these.
No, my mom made them. Actually,
that's even better.
Yeah, so made with mother's love. We had some brawls last night. That's a good thing about a blowout in hockey.
They know how to keep the fans entertained.
Yeah, they're like, okay, you might be beating our ass, but that ain't the last thing that's happening. In the NBA, when there's a blowout, we throw towels and heating pads on the floor. In the NHL, we throw hands.
I always wanted to be a goon.
What a great job.
Yeah, I just want to be the goon. It's like release the gimp. Way to go have some fun, gimp.
I wish every sport was allowed to have a goon. Like, you don't have to be really good. You just have to be able to whoop some ass.
This is a tough song.
Like, imagine if the NBA had those.
We did. We used to.
There used to be.
Yeah, you're right. The goon, and it gave other guys a job.
You need one.
It allowed for the goofy dude to get a job and make a little bit of scratch.
All right. There was an ass whooping last night. They had to jump in and stop that thing. All right, we're going to talk about the NBA and the officiating problem that it has. I'm of this belief. The refs didn't cost the Pacers the game last night, but the refs sure left themselves open for criticism once again. We'll talk about that on the other side. It is Morning Huddle on 9 Sports Star.
94.1 FM, San Antonio Sports Star.
Hi, this is Quentin.
And this is Brianna.
A little thing we love about Chick-fil-A chicken strips are how satisfying they are. The chicken strips are amazing. They're always filling, tender, and juicy. Definitely one of my favorite things on the menu.
My favorite thing is the last bite. The last bite is nice and juicy, and it's wrapped up in some crispy breading that keeps it nice and tasty. And being able to scoop up my Chick-fil-A sauce with it, it's just like the best part of the meal. It's an undefeated combo.
Order the chicken strips on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Is switching your wireless service to Total by Verizon easy?
Totalmente.
And you get unlimited 5G data, $25 a line for 4 lines on the unlimited plan, at an amazing price with no contracts. Should you switch to Total by Verizon? Definitely.
Totalmente.
Find a store or switch suavemente at totalbyverizon.com. Monthly rate when you activate without a pay plus taxes and fees. Discount begins the month after you enroll. Additional terms apply. See website for data management practices.
Dave Ramsey here from my friends over at Connecticut in San Antonio. Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy. So there's no computer to break, fewer moving parts, and it works only when you need it. It was even voted most efficient water softener in the world by the Water Quality Association. The team at Connecticut San Antonio can test your water, install a system, and provide treatment all without stepping a foot inside your home.
I'm Chris Canepa of Connecticut and San Antonio in the Hill Country. I'll let you try a Connecticut quality water softener for 90 days absolutely free. Call us at 656-PURE, that's 656-7873, or visit us on ConnecticutSA.com.
And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Whether this is her first Mother's Day or her 40th, she deserves more. Shop tons of stunning on-trend jewelry for every budget at Diamonds Direct. Diamond fashion jewelry, beautiful birthstones, everyday pearls starting at just $200. Commemorate the real loves of her life with a gorgeous pendant featuring the birthstone of the one who made her mom. This Mother's Day, Diamonds Direct is everything you need to say thank you. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Online at diamondsdirect.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ziprecruiter.com/free.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
That's right. It's the Morning Huddle. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. The officiating was once again a focal point in the Pacers-Knicks series. And I'm not of the... I don't know. I don't love generally crying about officiating.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Once you start looking at it, once you start talking about it, you can't not look at it because it is inherently imperfect.
We did say yesterday that it felt like there'd be a lot of points scored because there would be a tight whistle and we'd get some free throw attempts in the total was never in doubt as the Knicks get a 130-121 win. 28 points scored at the free throw line.
How many points do you think the Knicks would have had if Brunson played in the second quarter? How many free throws you think they would have had then?
I mean, obviously more.
But
the on-off splits with Brunson on the floor versus off are absurd. And that's the other thing is the Pacers, man, you had everything. You had every opportunity to win that game. Arguably the best player in these playoffs was out for a third of the game. You blew a 10-point lead, a 10-point halftime lead. You can blame the officials if you want, but you might want to just take a little bit of ownership with this. And I'm torn on it because I agree that once again last night it was I don't want to say an unfair, I'll say an unbalanced called a game that was called unbalanced.
Shaded.
Yeah. I won't say it was unfair because it's not like it was they were making up calls or things, but there were things that, and Rick Carlisle talked about this. He was like, there's some things that they're being rewarded for that we're being penalized
That's
for.
shading. I mean, the refs control the game in so many other ways than the whistle.
That's why, man, it's always, you go back to the Donaghy story and it's like, it's not that hard.
No,
if someone wanted to do it, it wouldn't be that hard.
The classic example of it's not that hard, and it wasn't intentional. And the right thing actually came out of it was that weird double dribble whistle, where they were like, you could tell the one ref went over and was like, what the hell are you doing, man?
Yeah.
What was that? And they fixed it.
Ridiculous.
But right now, like I said, once you start focusing on the officiating, you cannot look away. It's like staring into a fire. I can't not look at it anymore. So every little thing becomes magnified by 10. And Carlisle lost his crap finally. Like, that's enough.
And he wanted to know what was going on. They ran him out of the game.
Who ran him out?
The same ref ran him that was doing the Nuggets Timberwolves game too, where Mike Malone was desperately trying to get thrown out of the game, like ran onto the court and yelled in his face, wouldn't throw him out. Jamal Murray threw a heating pad in his direction, didn't throw him out, but Rick Carlisle,
well, he learned from his lessons.
Gets tossed.
He learned. He knows now when the ref, when you get charged, throw the guy out. He didn't know the night before.
Yeah.
But now he knew. How is he working 2 games in a row like this?
It's weird. I don't like that.
Like did somebody call in sick? Does he need some overtime?
I don't like that. I mean, but yeah, I guess maybe there's only so many crews that qualify, or like maybe
which is another.
How does it work? Like what? So once they cut it down,
they're supposed to whittle down all the way to the finals.
So once we're down, so we had 16 teams. Once it's down to 8, do half the referees, do they say, hey, your season's over?
Yeah, they do. You're graded, and there are referees that were done at the end of the regular season.
Yeah,
and I think that it's a higher percentage are done at the regular season, and a higher percentage hang around during the playoffs.
Didn't make the playoffs. Sorry.
That's it. Yeah.
So you're out.
But I don't think even those guys don't get relegated. It's not like you didn't make the playoffs, so now you got to go ref the ACC or the Ignite games. They just go home.
Yeah.
And come back next year and continue to suck.
Yeah. I mean, and again, you can be sort of tinfoil hat guy and say, well, the NBA wants the Knicks in conference finals.
It's evident. It's obvious. It is apparent.
But it's also apparent that the Knicks are better than the Pacers.
They're not better. They are being aided and abetted. And with the aided and abetting, they are better. And you're right. The Pacers, they've had opportunities in both games. And Pascal Siakam, the guy they brought in to be the killer, the guy that should understand the moment and the need and all that stuff, hadn't showed up. So they had opportunities. They can bitch about the refs, but it's their fault they're down 0-2. It's not the refs. It's their fault.
And it's been very difficult to find someone who can do anything to slow down Jalen Brunson. But yesterday, it felt like TJ McConnell, who I don't think of as a defensive player.
He wasn't slowing Brunson down.
He was at least bothering him.
Okay.
I mean, it was certainly more than Halliburton and Nembhard were.
But they can't afford to put Halliburton on there. Nembhard, every now and then plays defense. Every now and then he locks him up, and he just gets lost in there. I know, and I heard, was it Reggie saying that TJ's got to get in there and guard Brunson? TJ can't shoot.
Yeah. But in the last 7 minutes, you're trying to not let Brunson beat you again.
They
didn't get on the floor.
Offense. I wasn't mad at Carlisle for not having McConnell in there. I wasn't.
I mean, I'm not either necessarily, but I mean, McConnell had a good game.
He did. He had a good game, and he was used appropriately. But he wasn't gonna stop. Well, They needed offense at that time. They're down by 6-8. They needed offense. Nobody's playing defense.
Yeah.
They're fouling, but that's not defense. Neither team is playing defense. They needed offense right there.
But you know what? Obi Toppin wasn't on the floor, and that's all he's there for is offense.
But he couldn't shoot either. They needed threes. They needed to spread the floor. I'm not mad at Carl. See, that's one of those things about we get so lost in the officiating, you forget about the matchups. And Carlisle's having issues with that. It's not the officiating. When he needs shooters, they're not there. When he needs defensive stops, he's got the shooters in that can't play defense. Carlisle's got issues that he's going to have to fix.
Personnel issues is what you're saying.
Right, and they're so deep. They are deeper. They're more talented than the Knicks. They're just not better.
And the Knicks now, it's starting to get beat up, man. OG's beat up. You've got Brunson's beat up. You're starting to run out of bodies. They played 7 guys last night.
That's what they've done all year. This is nothing new. And they're about to fulfill their purpose. Their only job now in the eyes of the NBA is win 2 more games. After that, you guys can go fishing, go to Acapulco. We'll have 4 games of the Northeast losing their minds. And that'll be enough.
Josh Hart, 48 minutes once again. This dude is a warrior. And the Villanova boys, 76 points between the 3 of them, last night. My goodness.
DiVincenzo, baby. I like the guy. I never thought he'd be this. I didn't think he would be this clutch.
Honestly, I didn't like when I loved that Villanova team.
We all did.
I wasn't sure if DiVincenzo was like a guy who'd even hang around the league. Like I thought maybe he'd have a year or 2 and just be done. But like, man, you talk about he's turned into something I never saw coming. Like with Hart and Brunson, I knew those dudes were going to have careers. I didn't think Dante I didn't think he'd really have a career, but he's having a hell of a playoffs. We're going to do a little later in the program a draft, Rob and I, and we're going to both try to create a team with the remaining players in this thing. And we might have to ask somebody in the brigade whose team wins.
Yeah, I think
we'll have to, or we'll figure it out.
Maybe somebody could throw this together and sim it.
Oh, now that's good. Yeah. All right, we are going to hit a break. We're going to talk more NBA stuff for sure. I want to get into tonight's games, but we've also got there's a new old MVP. We're going to talk about that. Are the Astros dead? Later on in the program, we're going to get into 2 different quarterback lists that were released yesterday. I want to know which one's crazier, which one has the crazier maybe data points, because there's a couple of them that I was like, huh? Oh, okay. But we'll get into that whole lot coming up here on the Morning Huddle, 94.1, San Antonio's Sports Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, it is Thursday, and that's always good because we get to visit with the General John McClain about all things Houston.
Plus, we'll talk about the NBA playoffs, what we saw last night, and can Dallas bounce back in Game 2 tonight at Oklahoma City? We're talking about it on the Blitz. We get started at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
I was afraid to cut the cord, but once I did, I couldn't believe it took so long to do it. Paying too much for my cable bill had become a bad habit. I either wasn't getting what I wanted or never knew where to find any of my favorite shows until it was too late. Plus, the prices just kept going up. Thankfully, I discovered a new way to watch called Philo. For just $25 a month, I can catch all my favorite shows on networks like BET, MTV, and TLC. It even has Nickelodeon for my kids. I can watch anytime I want, anywhere I want. Plus, Philo lets me have up to 3 streams at once, so everyone can watch what they want at the same time. Throw in the unlimited DVR that saves all my favorites for up to a year, and this really is the best deal in TV. I just wish I hadn't waited so long. Sound too good to be true? Well, try it out for yourself, and you'll see why people who love TV love Philo. Go to philo.tv, that's philo.tv, and start your 7-day free trial now.
Hey, baseball fans, go yard with BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. All season long, we're offering top odds on your favorite home run bets, shared $50K Grand Slam jackpots, fast and convenient ways to play same-game parlays, special boosts and tokens, and so much more. From the first pitch to the game-winning fireworks, there are more ways than ever to supercharge your excitement. Whether you want to combine multiple bets for the chance at a bigger payout or place a live bet as the game unfolds, BetMGM has all the home run betting options you could need. Download the BetMGM app, head to the ballpark, and get your piece of MLB action. BetMGM is an official partner of Major League Baseball. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. For New York, call 8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. For West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
They had a drone attack on the Kremlin, man. Okay. Putin says that he thinks that the Ukrainians tried to assassinate him.
How would a drone get that close to the president?
Russia kind of faked a little insurgent attack on themselves. So they did this thing and said, those Ukrainians tried to kill me. That's how we talk.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson for Tri-County Meat Market, your locally owned full-service meat market. Tri-County has 2 great locations, Keebner Road and Ralph Fair, stocked full of everything you need to up your grilling game. You're looking for the perfect cut of beef, they've got it. If they don't have it, they'll cut it for you. Roast chicken, prepare foods, they've got it. The 5 for $25 is always in play. If you're a first responder, 10% off the best meat you're going to find. Tri-County Meat Market. Head over to either location, put some good meat on the grill, and thank me later.
QC Kinetics provided amazing pain relief for a former professional baseball player, and you have access to the same life-changing treatments as retired Braves pitcher Jose Alvarez.
I put a lot of stress and strain and work on my right arm, but my right elbow took most of the damage with 3 surgeries.
Arthritis developed, and the pain was unbearable.
It wasn't just pain when I was trying to play sports. It was anytime I was moving the right elbow. It was pretty excruciating at times.
That's when Jose discovered QC Kinetics and the regenerative treatments that help the body heal itself, restoring damaged tissue and providing relief with no surgery or downtime. Jose's message to the medical professionals at QC Kinetics?
My elbow is feeling outstanding. Where were you 10 years ago, for crying out loud?
QC Kinetics is right here. Call for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318.
Hey, this is Greedy. Join me today at 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. On a Thursday.
We like to call it Small Friday.
Small Friday?
Small Friday.
All right.
It kind of helps to get you through the day.
Pre-Friday? Pre-game? I don't know. But yeah, it's been a fun first week here in San Antonio.
Are you running on fumes? I mean,
yes.
When the alarm went off this morning, do you remember going to sleep? And do you recall the
Yeah, and so yesterday, I got to get you once I am not doing the afternoon show every day, I think it'll be easier.
Yeah. Oh gosh, your life, man. This is brutal. This is a rough one.
Because yesterday I went home. The plan was to take a nap, and I laid down, but still in my head, it was like, what if I don't get up in time? What if the traffic's worse? So knowing that I had to be back to do a segment with the afternoon show, I was you can't get good rest that way. So I laid in bed and I closed my eyes and I think I rested a little, but I didn't sleep.
You need to get a little bit of that REM sleep.
Yeah, I wasn't getting that
restorative REM sleep.
And then today I've got a sales call,
and we got another one
noon, and then another hit on the
Another
afternoon
gig.
show. But it's
but we're gonna finish off with a bang tomorrow out at Tri-County. That's gonna be fun.
I'm pumped.
Easy. There'll be smoke in the air. There'll be fine meat served.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
Well, you talk about this sounds like heaven.
Oh, speaking of today at 6, the Blitz will be giving away a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. Send a picture in. Yeah, what we do every week, they give away a $50 gift card every Thursday. And how you win is take a picture of your meat, and then you upload your meat picture.
Wasn't there a guy on the Spurs who did that?
Yes, and then the problem with the Spur guy was they didn't let Joe evaluate the meat.
Oh,
Joe is our primary meat evaluator.
On Twitter, they call like those OnlyFans
like
accounts. They have the eggplant and then a raider. It says eggplant raider.
That would be Joe is our eggplant raider. So to win that $50 gift card, upload a picture before 6 o'clock. Describe your meat, how you prepared your meat, and let Joe look at your meat, and then we will offer you a $50 gift card for your meat.
Okay.
Always like my meat big. See?
Yeah, he likes big meat.
And he cannot lie.
That's all right. Hey, I'm not here to judge anybody's lifestyle, man. Do your own thing. I was at the bar last night because I had, again, I was panicked that I wouldn't make it in time for the afternoon show. So I got up a little early and went over there and I got the afternoon show done. And then when I was done, I had another I was doing somebody's podcast, like doing a guest spot on a podcast. So I was coming back here because I brought my equipment here, like my my podcasting mic and my laptop and stuff. I'd left it all here so I could set up, and I had like an hour to kill. So I stopped off at a little brewery called Weathered Souls.
Yeah, Weathered Souls, good place,
great place. And the bartender there was like, she said, my partner. And
that's a dead giveaway.
You would think. About an hour later, she's like, oh, this is my partner. And it was a dude. And I said, I thought you were trying to tell me you were a lesbian.
That's a dead giveaway to me. When you say partner.
When a girl who's got half pink hair, half black hair says, oh, yeah, me and my partner are looking for a new car this weekend, my assumption is going to 10 times out of 10,
yes,
you're telling me you have a lady partner
you've chosen,
and you don't want to call her like you because if you are of that that's your flavor, and you say, oh, my girlfriend, it doesn't always tell the story, because like my wife will say, oh, me and my girlfriends are going to go out, and it doesn't mean that kind of girlfriend. So often partner is the word for that. And so I just assumed, and then she introduces me to this fella. I said, man, I thought you were going to be a lesbian woman because, man, she called you her partner. And she said, and they both said, this is some 20-something stuff right here.
Pronouns are very important to the next generation.
It was, well, we're like, boyfriend sounds so high school,
but partner sounds so official, and
we're partners. We do things together. We work together on this relationship. And I was like, okay, that's a little much for me, but yeah, you're my partner.
Yeah, but would you prefer partner, or have you ever had anybody like introduce like, I'd like you to meet my lover?
That's weird.
That now we're getting weird. But partner is so official.
But also, like, if I told you, let's say we'd never met, and I said, oh, my lover will be here shortly,
I would think it's a woman.
You would think that?
I would.
If I said it?
Well, no, it would,
no, I mean,
I would consider the source and how I,
like, I'm saying, you don't
how
know.
I summed you up.
Okay.
Because
I'm saying, if you don't know someone and they use that term, like if I say my lover's going to be here,
that would be
that tells me that it's likely another male,
another guy. Yeah.
And when you say and if I said, just like if I said, hey, I'm going to introduce you to my partner, my life partner,
I'd also think
you would make an assumption. but you can't assume.
And
Rob.
I don't mind that she said it. I'm just not. If I was a guy and I was referred to as a partner, I would be thinking I'd be hovering around right about the edge of the friend zone. You know, I managed to sneak an indiscretion night into it. You know, I talked her into something.
He liked it. He liked the partner term.
See, you're right on the edge of friend when you're called a partner.
He liked the partner term.
I don't know, man. You might want to keep his options open.
Yeah.
You might want to don't commingle funds if you're just a partner.
It was a weird statement. A weird statement. But you know, to each their own. I'm not here to judge anybody. In our next segment, you talk about a partner, someone who's willing to go above and beyond for you. This Shohei Ohtani interpreter, what a life partner. I mean, this dude's willing to go to prison. He's dealing with the Real Housewives. I mean, this story, there's no bottom to it. There's no end to this Ohtani story. But I want to give you the latest updates when we come back. It's the Morning Huddle here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1. If you need bold banners to boost your business, but you're on a budget, think Staples. Posters, flyers, signs, and menus for less? Think Staples. Staples can print anything you need to move your business forward. Now at Staples, save $50 on your print purchase of $150 or more. Same-day service available on hundreds of items if you order by noon. And all backed by Staples' Print Perfect guarantee. So it's done right or it's printed again free. Staples, your local print and marketing expert. And 6-1, visit staples.com/print for details.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Hurry! Time's running out to shop spring savings at Lowe's. Don't miss your chance to spring into deals on the appliances you need. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an extra $50 on every $500 you spend on select LG major appliances. Because Lowe's knows spring savings. Offers valid through 5/15. Selection varies by location. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details.
If you need bold banners to boost your business, but you're on a budget, think Staples. Posters, flyers, signs, and menus for less? Think Staples. Staples can print anything you need to move your business forward. Now at Staples, save $50 on your print purchase of $150 or more. Same-day service available on hundreds of items if you order by noon. And all backed by Staples' Print Perfect guarantee. So it's done right or it's printed again free. Staples, your local print and marketing expert. And 6-1, visit staples.com/print for details.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-2706. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-2706. That's 800-575-2706. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hormones can affect everything. Bad skin, bad hair, low energy, poor sleep, brain fogginess, libido, and weight gain. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we take a functional approach to your hormone problems. Eating right and exercise will not be beneficial without optimal hormone function. This goes for men and women. We do state-of-the-art testing to get to the root of your hormone issues and help you get well and stay well. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. We can help. 210-468-1891.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for my favorite game app. It is Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Heck, I'm just one of 3 million active users. They're the easiest to play. They're the most exciting way to play your daily fantasy sports. And it's unlike other apps. On Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. You're a fantasy player. You know when it's more. You know when it's less. Up to 100 times your money according to how you play it. $1,000 on basketball, hockey, and college basketball entries. Today is the time to play. You can turn $10 into big money quick. The biggest moments in professional basketball are happening right now, and it's no fun unless you're playing. Go to Prize Picks right now and remember the code Alamo for your first deposit match of up to $100. That's the code Alamo. Prize Picks. Fantasy, you're playing already. Go win. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the code Alamo, and up to $100 deposit match is coming. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
This is Jason Minix, and you're listening to the home of the Texas Rangers, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Ippei Mitsuhara.
Convict number 77963.
Pleads guilty to bank and tax fraud. I mean, listen, Rob, you and I are partners in every way, every sense of the word. You and I have worked together closely for 4 days. And I don't know that we could have a closer relationship than we do. And honestly, I don't know that there are any closer relationships that any two hetero men could have than Rob and I have.
Okay. But
I don't know that I'd go to prison for you.
What if I told you I was worth about $1 billion? It would be, if you were to go to prison, it would be one of those federal, tax white collar, you'll be on an Air Force base. Maybe you have to play you only get 2 or 3 rounds of golf a week, and then you're playing with the insider trader guys,
and you're taking care of me on the back end.
Well, I don't know. Or something could happen to him.
Because here's the deal. Mitsuhara, we know Ohtani's a young man. He's got a lot of game, a lot of life left ahead of him. Mitsuhara's 39 years old. And the total maximum sentence he's looking at here is 33 years in federal prison. That's a long time for a 39-year-old man. That's I'm going to do the math here. Yeah, that's a little under half of his lifetime would be spent in prison. I think I'd have to have some guarantees on the other side.
I would expect such.
But it does say that because he pled guilty, prosecutors are not going to recommend the maximum sentence.
That's good.
And the plea agreement says he will be required to pay full restitution to Shohei Ohtani.
And I'm sure a man of his substance could probably come up with this kind of millions of dollars.
Well, yeah, listen, everybody who is anybody grows up saying, I'm going to be an interpreter. And when I get that job, I'm just going to have 17 million that I'm sitting on to pay back to the guy that I borrowed it from.
I don't interpret Japanese, but I know it pays well.
From 17 mil is it's nothing, no big deal. But this story has gotten so weird where, Mitsuhara has basically taken all blame off of Ohtani, filed false tax returns, told Ohtani that he needed $60,000 for dental work. It's a lot of crazy stuff. And all the stuff that's come out, do you feel like you really know what happened?
Oh, I know what happened.
What's your theory? What's your philosophy here?
I don't think Ohtani gambled. I don't think that's him. But I believe that he was fully aware that his bro was in trouble. And the first time
you
he
talking about
spoke,
like in trouble, like with people who are going to not let him be alive.
I don't think he knew that he was being stolen from.
Yeah.
I don't think he did. I think he gave him some money. And I think that the first story was his dude came to him and said, hey, man, I'm into it. They're going to kill me. And he wrote the check. He said, okay, man, we'll pay him back. I believe that he was helping a bro out. That I don't think he was complicit, but I do think he knew exactly what was going on the entire time. The story changed overnight. And they've been running with the second story ever since. But the first one was, well, I found out and I helped him. Yeah, I gave him the money. I didn't gamble, but I was helping a bro. And I get the sense that's what happened.
I'm trying to think about when you think of it. If I said, hey, I need $60,000 for dental work, wouldn't that be a red flag? Like, think of how bad do your teeth have to be to need $60,000 of dental work?
Well, that didn't happen, AJ.
No,
that's what they're saying happened.
But I'm saying
Ohtani was in an ocean of money, and $60,000 is a $10 bill to him. That didn't mean anything to him. He was helping a guy out.
Oh yeah. Well, God bless him. So
No,
you don't
he
think
was stupid?
You don't think he's got any like?
I just don't. I don't see that in him. I really don't. I'm looking for the worst here, and I'll tell you, he fell on his sword. He is being paid off. All of that. Just the speed at which this has happened. This is a federal case, not a state court. The federal jurisdiction, the federal jurisprudence system is by design slow. It's not built to speed the trial, and they're already pleading him out. What?
I think I was really wrong about something with Ohtani, because I said before the season, of all the years to bet Ohtani to win the MVP, this is the worst because he's not doing the thing that makes him so valuable. Right. We're at about the quarter point of the season. Ohtani would be the MVP of just as a hitter. That's how incredible this guy is. And the fact that he's doing this with all these distractions and all this stuff hovering around him, and he's still hitting 355 with 11 homers and 9 stolen bases. So basically, he's on track right now to be a 40-40 man and hit 355. It's like that. It shouldn't even be allowed.
I'm surprised they allowed him to run like that. The stolen bases is the shocking stat there. The fact that they're letting him go with that elbow.
I'll be honest. I think he's kind of got a lot of say in how he plays. And I think you're gonna have a hard time telling him what he is and isn't gonna do. And I think that was part of the deal when he went to the Dodgers. Was like, listen, the Angels let me do this how I want to do it. I'm not going somewhere where the manager's gonna tell me I can't do this or we're not going to let you pitch, blah, blah. Because they were saying that there's some team is going to say after a couple years, you're not a pitcher anymore. Like, you got to stop. But I think Ohtani's got more clout than people think that you're not going to tell him. He'll tell you. That's part of his negotiation is he'll tell you, you want me there? I'll come, but you're not the boss of me, buddy.
Do you think he feels distracted? Do you think this? I mean, I get the sense that baseball, whoever baseball is, this monolith went to him and said, don't worry. Just go play. Everything's taken care of.
I'm sure.
I get the sense that he's
his new interpreter,
that he doesn't know if it fits the story.
His new interpreter / money man, money launderer says, don't worry. It's all taken care of, friend. All taken care of.
Wink.
There is a new old MVP. And I think it's time we have to start considering where he ranks in the all-time pantheon. And man, Robbie tickles his name in a sentence with some guys that you're not going to believe. We'll talk about it next. 94.1, San Antonio's Sports Star.
Riding the work with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. It's the Morning Huddle, KTFM Floresville.
Improve visibility and save $8 instantly when you pick up a new pair of Bosch Icon wiper blades in-store only at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Bosch Icon wiper blades have up to a 40% longer life than other premium wiper blades. The professional parts people will even install them for free at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Progressive presents Flo and JD announcing a monster truck rally.
And here comes the Obliterator.
Whoa! And he's up on two wheels. That can't be safe.
Oh, I don't recommend flipping your car backwards.
Did he even check his blind spot?
And the car's on fire.
I definitely don't recommend that.
This is one of my recurring nightmares.
Progressive is all about keeping it safe, so bundle your home and auto for 24/7 protection. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Coverage not provided for monster trucks. Not available in all states.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
PSA for anyone who's not the best at remembering dates. Mother's Day is May 12th. Luckily, finding something she'll love is easy. Just go to Kohl's. I got a Sephora fragrance set for $35. Then with the extra 20% off, I scored cute PJs for just $19.99 and jewelry for under $30. Plus, I earned Kohl's Cash and found even more great prices across the store. Yep, it doesn't get better than Kohl's. Select styles. Offers end May 12th. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
What's keeping you from learning the language you've always wanted to speak?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make learning fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. And in 10 minutes a day, Babbel's bite-sized lessons are designed to get you having real conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
That's not long.
It's not hard.
It's perfect.
It starts here. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owed the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-970-3199. That's 800-970-3199. 800-970-3199.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Experts claim there is nothing tougher than a diamond. But at Diamonds Direct, we beg to differ. Have you ever met a mother? Strong, radiant, timeless. This Mother's Day, give her the gift that meets her match. With diamond jewelry starting at $200. Plus Diamonds Direct's exceptional quality and unbeatable everyday price, you're sure to give her a gift that wows this generation and the next to come. Experience the thrill of jewelry shopping. Direct. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
94.1 San Antonio's Sports Center.
The New York Knicks take a 2-0 lead over the Indiana Pacers, 131-21. They took game 2 late. officiating still is the hinge point of the series. Tonight, we have a couple of game twos as the Celtics take on the Cavs from Boston, leading 1-0. Tip set for 6 o'clock. The Thunder take on the Mavs at 8:30. Dallas tries to even the series, both games televised on ESPN. For the third time in 4 years, Nikola Jokic is the NBA's MVP, winning the award with 79 first-place votes. He's the 9th player in NBA history to win 3 MVPs. The Cowboys play in host to free agent wide receiver Zay Jones. He's the son of former Cowboy linebacker Robert Jones. Zay spent the last 2 years with the Jacksonville Jaguars. In other NFL news, former Reagan Rattler quarterback Kellen Mond was waived by the New Orleans Saints, while the Broncos released former Cowboys backup Ben DiNucci. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning once again. If you're just joining us, the hell took you so long to wake up and get your radio turned on? We've been having a good time in here, me and Robbie Tickles. Like the doughboy. Yeah,
That's we need that creepy. Let's not even go down that road.
That's the sound or a wacky morning show would play. But Nikola Jokic, the MVP once again. That makes 3 for the Joker. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander second in the voting. He got 15 first place votes. So there's 99 votes. I don't know why there's not an even 100, but there were 99 ballots, and Jokic got 79 first place votes, SGA 15, Luka 4, and Giannis 1. I'm assuming from someone in Milwaukee, but he finished 4th.
No Embiid on those top.
Embiid wasn't eligible. He missed too many games.
He could have if he'd have stayed healthy that last game, because I think he'd have probably ended up second.
I think he would have too. And he played a full season, like the games that he did play, if you sent that out over the course of a full year, he was better than Joker this year.
Well, he hung 70 on Wemby, the proposed and defensive player of the year.
I mean, he had something. Jalen Brunson finishes 5th, Jason Tatum 6th, Anthony Edwards 7th, Sabonis 8th, and Durant 9th.
Should the award be given after all is done?
No.
You think the regular season should be separated?
No. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do. The one time where I wish that they counted the postseason, the one award is the Heisman, because I feel like you're only playing 1 or 2 more games.
Right.
Like let's.
No, I think the regular season should be. But when we're watching,
because there's going to be a Finals MVP.
We're going to talk about the way Jokic is, and I think if he'd had a couple of good games, we wouldn't be looking and talking about him the way that we are. Because the playoffs matter. It's more important, and we give the award for, the regular season. It is prologue. I mean, it means nothing.
Yeah. No, you're right. But this number of MVPs now, 3, puts him in rare air. I'm going to read the list of, top tier Hall of Fame basketball players that have won 3 or more MVPs. And I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around this, and this may be the first sign that I'm an old man.
I didn't want to bring it up, but let's go. Let's move on.
Moses Malone, 3. Magic Johnson, 3. Larry Bird, 3. LeBron and Wilt both have 4. Michael Jordan with 5. Kareem with 6. Jokic is now in that class of player. And it's hard for me to I
don't know why.
You know why? I think it's because of how he looks and how he plays. And I guess you would say you'd make the same argument for Larry, but this doesn't look like he can be the best basketball player in the world.
You're in it, but if he hadn't got the award, and I go, I want you to tell me about the Joker. Just describe to me what you think of the Joker, and you described to me a 3-time MVP player. You would,
yeah. Like, do you? I'd say he's a kind of a chubby guy, who is a big, but doesn't have a big man's game necessarily. He can play a big man's game, but it's like what makes him unique is that he can shoot from outside. I'd say he's not a bad defender.
He's an angle defender. He's not a foot defender.
But somehow it all turns into he's the best player in the league. And when I read that list, and the only big men on the list with 3 or more MVPs, Moses Malone, Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That means Shaquille O'Neal doesn't have 3 MVPs. Hakeem Olajuwon didn't have 3 MVPs.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Duncan didn't have 3 MVPs. David Robinson didn't have 3 MVPs. Like, where is Jokic on the all-time list of greatest big men of all time now?
Right where you put him. Right there. Right in that conversation.
That's wild. I can't grasp that yet.
Shaq and all those guys that don't have the 3, you have to put them also in the context of the time that they were playing, because they might not have 3 because they were playing in the Jordan era or the LeBron era or whatever era, that era sucked up all the space and time and attention. And the very fact that they have any is remarkable. So I'm not going to say, well, because obviously Shaq, even though he doesn't have the number, it is there above where Joker is, but they're in the same room. Joker has changed the game just like Shaq did. Now, they had to change the rules for Shaq, just like they had to change the rules for Wilt, but the effect on the game is the same. And I don't think Joker should be considered anything less than where he is now. He's one of the greatest to ever walk the planet. He has changed the game by how he plays. He's the best passing big man in 2 generations. Not since Sabonis have we seen a big man pass like he does. And then he brings the offensive ability and the ability to go get a ring, something Sabonis wasn't able to do. He belongs on the list.
It's wild because his first, 3 or 4 seasons in the league, he seemed like he was a good player, but he seemed like he was like a
passive Euro.
Yeah, he could be like first of all, it didn't feel like this Nuggets team was ever going to turn into anything special. And if it ever did, Jokic would be like the 3rd best guy on that team. And it's like a light bulb went off. You could start to see the flashes 2018, 2019. But then that 2021 season, it was like, okay, this dude's got it. And now 3 MVPs in 4 seasons. And 1 runner-up. And the truth is, he probably should have won last year. There's some narratives out there that were maybe pushing the other way. I don't want to get into that, but it exists.
I think we all say if we knew then what we know now, he probably would have won.
Yeah. But, man, it's just...
Do you think
it blows my mind?
Do you think he would be in the situation he is if he'd have been a first-round draft, like a number 1 overall draft pick? Because I do believe he is here now because he was allowed to be a brisket, that he was allowed to be, a second-round pick. Just go and learn the game. No pressure on you. There ain't nobody begging to see you on the court. Go and just hone those skills that will allow you to be that. And he was in a market where not a lot was expected, and he could get good.
It helps.
And I think if by his actions, at least, especially over the last couple of days, I don't think he handles negative pressure very well. And I think if he had faced that early on, we wouldn't see what we're seeing now. But he was allowed to smoke and, kind of become a done meat over time. And
I can see that. Like, I mean, had Jalen Brunson come up in New York instead of Dallas, like, had he gotten his start in New York, would he be what he is now? I don't know. But the expectations of him weren't that he was going to be a superstar.
No, and by the extrapolation, though, I think it means even more that the guys that did have that pressure did, in fact, live up to it, which I think is much more difficult.
I think, but you said something that made me think of something totally different. Had he been I think maybe that's why it's hard for me to imagine him doing this, because when you look at him, you would never look at him and say, this is who I'm going to build my franchise around. I think you've got to give credit to the guys who scouted him, because who looked at this and said, there's something really good here. Back then, now that we've seen it all unfold, it's easy to say, well, yeah, he's the best player in the league. But looking at 19-year-old this guy who is, quite frankly, a minus athlete by NBA standards, and said, yeah, this guy who plays like an inside-out Euro big man game, this guy, he's got something. Whoever found Joker, they should really get a bonus. That's pretty impressive.
Well, I think a lot of guys look like Joker coming out. Yeah, okay.
But you see Olajuwon and you say, yep.
Yeah.
You see Shaq and you go, yeah, of course. You see Wemby and you go, yeah, that's the guy we're taking number one.
But Joker was a second-round pick.
I know.
I mean, there's no gamble there.
But that's why when I go through this list of guys, the guys who have won 3 MVPs, how many of those guys were a surprise? 0. When Kareem came to the league, everyone knew.
It was expected.
When Michael came to the league,
it was like, you better get it.
Russell, Wilt, LeBron, Bird, Magic, Moses Malone. These were people who Moses Malone I think he won 3 Player of the Year in college. All of these guys came into the league with expectations of greatness, and Jokic did not. Jokic came into the league as, maybe he makes a roster, maybe we stash him in Europe, maybe he's a G League guy, we don't know. And now he's the best player in the world. That's fascinating. It really is.
Especially now in an age of parity where you're going to have stars in a lot of different places. It's going to be very difficult to get 3 and 4.
Do you think he gets another one?
Probably not.
I think he's probably done too. And it's weird. I think the other thing is, and we've talked about this a couple times over the last week when we're talking about Anthony Edwards and and Jalen Brunson and the fire it seems these guys have, and it doesn't feel like Jokic has that fire for the game. You watch what was the name of that? The Last Dance with Jordan, and he talks about he so desperately wanted to win, and he loved basketball so much that he was never going to accept anything less. And I don't get the vibe that Jokic even cares that much about basketball. This is just his job.
Well, for 3 hours he cares. I think.
I agree with that.
Your heart out, but yeah, I would much rather be other places.
But you wouldn't expect someone. And I said this on the afternoon show yesterday. One of the I've been around, since 2004. I've been covering college and pro sports, and probably one of the best athletes I've ever seen is Ricky Williams. And Ricky Williams, if Ricky Williams cared about football, even a little bit, it's hard to imagine how great he could have been. But I think football was Ricky's 12th or 13th favorite thing in the world. And the fact that he was as good as he was is it almost speaks to the great. And that's with Jokic. I don't think he cares about basketball all that much, but that's the fact that he's as great as he is tells you this dude's got it, which is it. It's just kind of mind-blowing, I guess. He doesn't look like this is the guy. If someone put him on the cover of Sports Illustrated back when that was a thing 8 years ago and said, the future of the NBA, and it was this doughy white boy, you would have said,
What's the other? Is there an equivalent out there?
You know what? We're going to take a break. Let me think about that. I'll try and think of an unexpected, a guy that I never saw it coming who had it. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 FM.
If you can't sleep because of annoying knee pain, that's a problem.
You stop running because your feet always hurt. That's a problem. If your elbow, shoulder, and neck pain make it impossible for you to do your job, that is a problem, and it's time to finally do something about it. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. No medications, no injections. Arasti treatment is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, we accept most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Not to brag, but Progressive's Name Your Price tool is mankind's greatest tool ever. Even better than the wheel. Sure, without the wheel, we wouldn't have modern transportation or funny videos of dogs riding skateboards. But without the Name Your Price tool, we wouldn't have easy access to auto insurance options based on our budget. And, well, cars do need wheels. They also need insurance, and insurance never goes flat. Learn more about the greatest tool ever, the Name Your Price tool at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Hey, poker players! The Big Blind official grand opening celebration continues into the weekend with 10K tournaments through Saturday with $500 high hands every half hour from 2 p.m. to midnight and a 5K Texas free roll on Sunday. Plus daily blackjack tournaments. That's right, blackjack tournaments every day. Down from the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant at 281 in Redland Road. Get over to the Big Blind for the official grand opening celebration. Learn more online at BigBlindSA.com.
You want another way to add excitement to watching the NBA playoffs? Jason Minix here. Let me tell you about Underdog Fantasy. It is a fan favorite way to play fantasy sports, especially playing the pick'em game, where you pick between 2 and 5 players to build your pick'em entry, and all you have to do is select higher or lower on player stats. If your picks hit, you can win up to 100 times your money. Endless projections to choose from. It is fantasy and it is legal in Texas. So get started by going to the easy-to-use Underdog Fantasy mobile app or go to the website underdogfantasy.com. Sign up with my promo code STAR and Underdog will give you a mystery special pick to use on your first pick'em entry and a deposit offer. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, sign up using my promo code STAR at underdogfantasy.com.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When it's time for a brake job, go with a solution that delivers one of the smoothest and most quiet rides on the road. Napa Silent Guard brakes. Made with fiber-reinforced shims that eliminate noise for the life of the pad. Rubber-coated hardware for a better fit on 99.5% of vehicles. And quality design that meets and exceeds OE performance. Napa Silent Guard brakes deliver the stopping power and performance drivers demand in their vehicles. Available now at Napa locations nationwide.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime! Morning Huddle 94.1. Correction. Said Moses Malone was the player of the year 3 times in college. I was thinking of Ralph Sampson. I don't know how I got those two guys mixed up. But
Mo never quite made it to college.
Didn't make college. What was he, ABA? Is that?
Yeah, he went straight from high school in Virginia to the Virginia Squires, and the rest is history.
There you go. But again, once he got to the league, the expectation was this was a dude.
Every guy you named loved basketball.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Joker loves basketball.
So you asked before we hit the break there, and I'm glad that you asked this because I think it's a really interesting conversation starter. Look at you. You're like a radio pro.
Wow, you'd think.
Yeah. And you said, what are some comps? Like who's the comp to a guy who doesn't look like, doesn't carry themselves like they should be what they are, but they are.
But God, the higher power, touched them and said, "You are going to be great at this. Whatever you do, you're going to be great at this."
I think when you look at that picture of Tom Brady at the combine, if you had put that in front of people and said, "Hey, this is going to be the best quarterback that's ever played football," I think there would have been a lot of eye rolls and yeah, sure. But and Tom obviously changed as he got more serious, as age.
But the comparisons to Joker are very appropriate. I mean,
so.
I think the scouts saw something like, despite your physical limitations, I mean, definite limitations, and your physical, just general shape, you're not in good condition. There's things that you're doing better than anybody's ever done, and somebody saw 2 or 3 things.
And listen, whatever you think of Tom Brady was never he never got faster. He never had like the biggest arm in the league. Like there's sometimes you work around your athletic limitations. I think Jokic does a great job of that too. John Daly was the guy that came to mind.
Absolutely, the most appropriate comparison is Daly.
When you look at John Daly, I mean, there's no way to say it. He's just he's actually lost weight now. Like the last couple of times I've seen him. But there was a time when he was just a giant fat ass, to put it like nicely. And he was out competing. Like he was, I was going to say he was like outplaying Phil Mickelson, but Phil Mickelson was damn near fat enough you could put him in the conversation too. That was at a time though, like Tiger sort of revolutionized golf to where fitness and athleticism became a bigger part of it. And it was like, man, if you're like, imagine you're really good at golf, but you're also an elite athlete, you can be even better. John Daly never bought into that. And he was like, imagine if you drank 4 beers at the turn, how cool your back 9 will be.
I hate guys like that.
Right?
I just hate them. You're around these guys and you do everything you can to improve whatever that is. And it could be an athletic thing. It could be whatever that is. And some people are just freaking born to it.
I mean, you mentioned CC Sabathia during the break. He's another one.
Just
like
didn't matter. Doesn't matter what you do to your body. You smoke, party all night long, show up the next day and do it as good or better as anybody who's ever walked the planet. Didn't need 10,000 hours. You were just born with it.
Remember Kevin Stadler, the golfer? He was like
the walrus.
Yeah. Boy, he was built like a walrus.
Well, what about Monty Montgomery? You want to talk about a goofball, just born with stuff.
But man, but Jokic to do what he's done with the gifts he's been given, you've got to give it credit. It's just hard for me to think of him and be like, yeah, he's up there with Shaq and Hakeem and Duncan. Although Duncan's another guy who, when you look at him, you don't think, wow, this guy could have been, this looks like the best basketball player on the planet. Like, he never looked that way.
I think Tim's been sold short because of the Virgin Island attitude that people assume that he had. And that wasn't the case. Tim just didn't want to do he wasn't going to, he didn't want to, he did obviously, but it was the gym.
He didn't enjoy the gym aspect.
He loved basketball. He would play ball all day long. It wasn't like he wanted to check away from
that.
But
he didn't want to hit the weight room after.
I'm going to lift weights.
Yeah.
No, that's why I think, I don't know this personally, but I think he's embraced martial arts because the fitness part of it, the competitive thing that he brought to the game, and he would cut your heart out with a spoon. He was just as tough as Michael. Don't anybody sell you short on that. Just the other stuff didn't matter. He would never say it, but talk about practice. I mean, it was that kind of attitude. I'm that good, and I'll go play, but I don't need to refine my skill. I'm already there, baby.
Yeah. I mean, and it's like, God bless the guys who have those gifts.
Hate them.
And God bless the guys who can, smoke a cigarette between innings and still go out and wear your ass out when the time came. David Wells is another guy. Like
baseball's populated.
David Wells shouldn't have been as good as he was, and he just, I mean, he dominated for a while. But I also think there's a reason why guys like that, like Bartolo Colon. Bartolo Colon played for almost every team in the league. David Wells played for like 8 teams. I think because the guys who are giving you the money, they're like, is he really taking it seriously? Yeah, he was good for us, but is he really bought in? Look at him.
Right. Just look at him.
And then they go somewhere else and they say, oh, you don't want me? Somebody else will pay me. I'll do it there, Bubba. And they're not changing their ways. So they get passed around and
like you can't have that guy in hockey. You can't have, can you?
Probably not now.
Okay.
I think you could have a goon like that. Like I think there could be a guy who
see, I don't measure goonness. I'm talking about a guy. Yeah, anybody can be fat and fight, but I'm talking about a dude that can, fire lasers and get up and down.
I mean, there's a different level of athleticism required, I think, to skate like that the full time. Like,
what about what's the Argentinian, the hand of God shot? That dude, he's dead.
Messi. Oh no, what is his name?
Could he qualify in the Joker mode as just being God-given talent? And because the picture, he's the dude, Argentinian that died in Cuba of cancer.
I know who you're talking about. The hand of God goal. I don't know why I can't.
Would never look like a physical specimen to me.
No, you're right. I don't know. I don't know if he'd qualify as that. I don't know. There's probably a soccer equivalent to that. I just don't know enough about soccer to throw it out there. You know who was like this, and you won't understand this reference. There was a guy named Fedor Emelianenko.
I know Fedor. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
At the time, he was the greatest mixed martial arts fighter in the world, and he looked like he was a tubby Russian guy.
That dude walked around. It looked like his hands weighed 5 pounds.
There's a great video you can find if you are into to old fights, and I watch old fights all the time. But Fedor's brother is a guy named Alexander Emelianenko, and I think he's like involved in the Russian mob stuff. He's got all this weird star tattoos and like he fought a guy named James Thompson in Pride, and James Thompson was a British dude.
Mm-hmm.
He was a big muscle head, and he was like one of those intense, like he'd stare at you and like shake.
It's a vibrating.
He's like, I'm so worked up that I'm just gonna plow through you. And so when they're introducing him, he's like shaking and clenching his teeth, and he's like, I'm scary. And then they introduce Alexander Emelianenko, and he literally looks like he just smoked 3 cigarettes. And he puts his hand up in the air when they say his name and gives a little wave.
Shot of vodka, and let's do this.
And this James Thompson runs across the ring and starts throwing punches. And Emelianenko just like backs his head up and floors him and just walks away. I mean, and it's like, it's the craziest thing ever because it's this dude who looks like he's supposed to be the monster fighting this guy who looks like he got up off the couch, and the guy who got off the couch just wasted him.
Brad Pitt and Snatched or whatever.
Yes,
that guy just like.
Oh, who's another Butterbean? Remember
Butterbean?
Butterbean
Was a sideshow. I don't count that.
But I mean, like, how did he do it?
He did. Oh yeah, respect.
The guys he was knocking out. It's like,
do you think kids today remember Butterbean?
I think so.
He was a phenomenon. He was because of George Foreman. There was Butterbean.
I think so. Well, and remember, George Foreman wasn't always.
No, he was an animal.
Tubby.
Oh no, my memory of George is not the late George. It's the first.
People
George.
My age think of George Foreman and they go, "Yeah, well, George was the fat old guy,
scariest man on the planet. He was Mike Tyson before there was Mike Tyson. Scariest dude on the planet."
But George Foreman was in shape when he fought early. But yeah, that he was one of those guys who he didn't look like he should be. And to be quite honest, Tyson Fury, who's now the best heavyweight in the world.
That's another guy that just doesn't look like what he does.
But he's also a giant. So he's like 6'10" or whatever, fighting against guys who are 6'4". So it's a little bit different. But yeah, I mean, these guys who don't look like they should be what they are, and they are. Joker falls into that category for sure. All right. We're going to hit a break. And when we come back, we're going to get more into this officiating and get some sound from Rick Carlisle, who, we talked about this, Rob. After game 1, he took the high road. Game 2, he said, enough. We'll hear from him on the other side. It is the Morning Huddle here on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Twin Peaks is waiting on you. And this week, there's no better place to be because Mother's Day. Cool moms love the Lodge. Show your appreciation to Mama by treating her to the specials that Twin Peaks can offer all day long, including mimosas, sangria, and all the things that Mama loves. Don't forget, that is May the 12th, Mother's Day. But that's just one of the days that Twin Peaks is celebrating. How about some tequila and cervezas? May the 10th, that's tomorrow, Big Friday. Head over to any one of the 4 locales and celebrate bourbon and brews. Heading south for the summer now, they're introducing Twin Peaks tequilas and cervezas. Fiesta's past, but we get it every Friday. Samples of your favorite tequilas, cervezas all summer long, featuring fiery red lingerie parties. Twin Peaks has got what you're chasing. The eats are always good. The drinks are spectacular. But why do we go? It's those scenic views.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, it is Thursday, and that's always good because we get to visit with the General John McClain about all things Houston.
Plus, we'll talk about the NBA playoffs, what we saw last night, and can Dallas bounce back in Game 2 tonight at Oklahoma City? We're talking about it on The Blitz. We get started at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Get to Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale and get a king bed for a queen price. Save up to $700 and get a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses, all with free and fast delivery. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
And Doug.
Being a spokesperson's easy, kid. Just say, customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Customize and save with Liberty Biberty.
That's not it.
Liberty Mutual. Liberty Musical.
Nope.
Lumberty. Line.
It's 2 words. Liberty Mutual.
Got it. Don't not pay at libertymuttnoodle.com.
Wow. I guess I'll just do it.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
That's a wrap.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Come to Generations Federal Credit Union for a great competitive rate on a home equity loan. Consolidate debt, pay off credit cards, renovate your home, and more. With flexible terms, fixed rates, and minimal closing costs. All with easy applications and fast local decisions. Apply today at Generations Federal Credit Union.
Rates and terms subject to approval and may change without notice. Full terms and conditions at mygenfcu.org/homeequity. Equal housing lender.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210 615-7777 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
This is Jason Minix. You're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's a Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. And game 2 of the Eastern Conference semis last night between the Pacers and the Knicks. Game 1, there was some discussion about officiating, but the Pacers generally said, we're going to take the high road, even though the 2-minute report said the Pacers may have gotten boned. They did get boned on an out-of-bounds call. Tough break. I don't think the Pacers got a great whistle yesterday by any means.
No.
They got, but I also don't expect you to get a great whistle on the road, particularly in a place like the Garden. Like I think, man, you're going to be fighting uphill. If you're not getting those kind of calls at your house, man, you should be worried. The problem is, like, when the Nuggets were complaining about officiating, it's like, dude, it's not officiating that's holding you back, friends. It's the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Knicks have left openings, but the Pacers have not walked through the door, in my opinion. They've had their chances. You can point at officiating, and you could say, well, there's been some of this, but the Pacers have had their chances and not done something with it. So I don't feel totally bad for them, especially after game 2. Game 1, I felt, okay, they probably could have won that game. But Rick Carlisle finally, he got booted yesterday, but he talked pretty candidly about the officiating after what they've seen in the first 2 games.
After game 1, we always go through the film, and games where it felt like, the whistles weren't balanced, and we pull the clips, and there's a way you can submit them to the MDA office. In the playoffs, when you submit things, the other team sees what you submit. And so there were 29 plays in game 1 that we thought were clearly called the wrong way. I decided not to submit them because I just felt like, we get a more balanced whistle tonight. It didn't feel that way.
What? Let me ask you this, because we talked about it with Jamal Murray and how there comes a time where if you're mentally beat, sometimes it's hard to picture you physically winning. Does it sound like the Pacers are already mentally beat?
Well, I think that they're running into the Caitlin Clark syndrome. That there are forces at play that have nothing to do
bigger
with
than you.
And you're just a pawn in a big game. There's some of that, I believe, but that is when I heard him say that you didn't even submit the tape and you just thought that things were. Dude, that's why this submission is there. There's a process in place for you to fix the problem, and you chose to just say, you know what, I'm not even going to submit it, and thought things were going to get better.
We found 29 plays that we thought were unfair, but we decided they'll even that out.
What?
Right. That's what they always do. You're going to be plus 29 in the next game. Yeah, right. Well, he talked about Halliburton, who he thought was getting a little abused in game 2.
A couple examples. 5:08 of the third. The whole world knows that Halliburton's got a bad back, and Hart comes up and shoves him in the back, and it's all over Twitter right now because a few people have showed it to me. And JB DeRosa is looking right at it. You can see him. He's got vision of the play, and he shoves Tyree in the corner, and there's no whistle right in the back. And so that was
right in the back.
That was shocking. And there are many others.
It was shocking. Rick thinks it was shocking. When I talk about being beat mentally, do you think because he said this, when you submit them in the playoffs, the other team sees it? If I was the other team's coach, I'd be like, these boys are crying. They're bitching about calls. They're beat.
I don't understand that. Obviously, there's some strategy behind this, but I'm not going to get lost in This is I don't. But the playoffs don't begin until a road team wins. They've been in both of them. They're going to go back home. You expect a little bit of home cooking. I don't know how much they're going to get. And I think that Carlisle expected a little bit of more fairness. But we'll judge this as far as how far the NBA is going after the next two games. I mean, they were close in two games. One of them they should have won. One of them they mistaked their way out of. I don't feel too bad if I'm Rick Carlisle, honestly. My Siakam hasn't played well yet. My defense, I can tighten things up. I'm not going to pronounce them dead, though I do think the world would much prefer to see them dead and let this Knick team that only has 7 dudes get healthy for the Celtics series that we also obviously want.
It feels like the one guy, at least the one guy who spoke yesterday about this, that is still trying to say, hey, man, did you ever coach basketball?
A lot of it, yeah.
Okay. When you coached and your kids would come up and start bitching about officiating, did you say, yeah, you're right?
Or I did the Carlisle thing. It wasn't them, it's us.
That's what you got to do, right?
Right.
Now, were you ever bitching about officiating and one of your players came up and said, Coach, we just got to be better?
Not once.
Never happened in my life coaching either. Like, no, Coach, the umpiring's fine.
No,
we're just not hitting.
Screwed up.
That's
Coach.
what we. Tyrese Halliburton kind of did this. Here's what Tyrese had to say about the refs.
I mean, at the end of the day, we got outplayed. We were right there to win the game. But I like consistency. More consistency, yeah, but let's not pretend like that's the only reason we lost. We just didn't play good enough, But at the end of the day, it's 2-0. We're going back to Indy, and, I like us in any matchup. So I'm not worried, but like I said, they outplayed us. So let's not pretend like the refs are the reason we lost. We just got to be better.
It's kind of refreshing, right?
Don't you wish you heard that from the Nuggets, the world champions? Don't you wish the world champions would have go, yeah, man, it wasn't them, it's us.
So you didn't see Tyrese Halliburton throw a towel on the court last night?
Don't you wish our world champions, the ones with a ring that have gone through this, went, yeah, man, this was rough. We're good enough to do it.
It's funny. I like Tyrese a lot. He's one of the guys, like the young up-and-coming stars. Like, we've been talking a lot about Anthony Edwards, and we've been talking a lot about SGA, and rightfully so. Those are probably, and along with Wemby. But those two guys are the guys who have been in the league for a couple years, who have kind of established themselves as the next group. I think Tyrese is in that conversation.
No question he is.
I think it's because he plays in Indiana. He doesn't get talked about like that.
Well, he's an all-star. I mean, I think he's getting his just desserts.
It's fun. It's also funny watching him shoot. And I never even noticed it until you.
I would, as his coach, man, I'd be like, okay. All right.
You pointed it out, and I was watching. I was like, that is kind of weird, the way that he gets those shots. But Tyrese Halliburton, in a losing effort, had like the highlight of the day yesterday on a no-look pass to a cutting Miles Turner that was just poetry.
And in that moment, it was a game changer. In that moment, it did change the game, at least the momentum for a moment.
So I don't know where Indiana goes from here. I mean,
they go home and they play their game. I fully expect this to be 2-2.
Oh, you think so?
I do, because they've been really close. And the guy that they traded to go get, the reason they went and got Siakam was corporate knowledge. Yeah. This guy has been there and done that, and nobody else on that team has been here, and he hasn't delivered yet. And home cooking, whether his home in Indiana's barely lived in, but going back home always cures what ails you. I think this is going to be a 2-2 series, and I think that the Knicks are going to take a game, either the next one or the following one, and they're going to have to rest a dude or two. Brunson, and how many minutes did Jason play last night? How many was it? 48? Did you tell me?
No, Josh Hart
he
played all 48 again. I mean, it's pretty standard for him now.
It is, and Anunoby's got a hammy now, and I don't know what's wrong with Brunson. His nuts seem to be a problem, or whatever else is going on. So they're gonna be a little dip there. This isn't done.
You're more of a basketball, guy. You know this game inside and out as a guy who played it. Am I crazy to think up 2-0, if I'm the Knicks, I'm sitting OG and Brunson in game 3, and like
I would.
You almost punt game 3.
You feel like it, but I'll tell you what changed my mind. Minnesota did against Denver. You know, they announced we're going to sit Gobert. He's dealing with a baby and all that. We got our win. I think that if I'm New York, I come in fully staffed and ready to go. In the first 12 minutes, I'm going to see what my guys look like. If I see a limping Jalen, if I see a little bit of slowness, I'm going to play to win with guys that might not be ready to play to win. You know what I mean? I'm still going to try, but minutes are going to be regulated. Minnesota started out fast, and they go, wait a minute, we're going to get this one. These guys have quit, and they powered through it. And if I'm the Knicks, I'd do that. But after the first quarter, if I feel like the refs and the crowd, I'm going to ease up, take my foot off the gas, and get ready for game 4.
We'll do the daily lines later on in the program, but let me ask you this as like a Prize Picks, your favorite gaming app.
It is. I play it when I'm at a bathhouse.
If you were playing Prize Picks, would you consider unders on Brunson and OG? Because I remember, do you remember a time when it was like they'd had a certain amount of games in a row, like where this was the Warriors, and Draymond had like a streak going where he'd played X amount of games in a row, and he started the game, played like 1 minute, and then left the game. Or no, it was like a rebound streak. He went out, he got 1 rebound, and then he left the game. And all his unders cashed. Because they knew he was hurt, but that streak meant something to him. So he went out there, he got a rebound, and he left. And like people were bitching about it because most public only plays the overs on these props, and they're like, he should have told us he wasn't going to play. I could see a situation like that.
I can too.
Where they say, okay, because you don't want to tip your hand to the Pacers and let them know, but if I'm up 2-0 and I'm the coach of the Knicks, there's no way I'm not considering that my 2 best players are hurt.
Considering you only play 7.
And I have a 7-man rotation. So I'm looking at guys like Diakite, guys who never play, and saying, hey, get ready. You're going to have a day today. You're going to be on the floor.
Would you rather be a Pacer or a Nugget right now?
I'd rather be a Pacer.
Yeah.
You know why? First of all, there's no pressure on the Pacers.
Right.
Nobody has expectations of the Pacers. The Nuggets were supposed to be playing for another title.
Pucker factor.
They've got the NBA MVP. And also the Pacers are playing against a banged up Knicks team, and the Pacers are going home. The Pacers are in a world better place than the Nuggets are. The Nuggets they're up S Creek, Bubba.
And Carlisle's going to play the victim today. He'll victim this thing up till tip.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is not over by a long stretch. I'd much rather see the Pacers or be a Pacer today.
Yeah, they've still got life in them. I mean, I think there is something to the league may want the Knicks-Celtics series. I mean, I shouldn't even say may. The league, if they had their druthers, would get Knicks-Celtics, and they'd get a Knicks-Celtics Eastern Conference final every 2 or 3 years. Like, they'd love that. But I
think they're still going to get it.
I do too.
But it's going to take some strategy, and it's going to take consistent health. If the Anunoby injury is as bad as it could be with a hamstring, that could be a tide turner because that's the guy that's been guarding Siakam.
But I do think if I'm the Knicks, I consider taking a personal day, and because let's face it. You can probably beat the Pacers if you really say, okay, Brunson, go out there and get us 40.
Yeah, he could
gut it out. You could probably beat the Pacers in 4 if that was the goal. But once you get to this point of the playoffs, the goal is to win a title, right? And I can tell you now, the Knicks aren't beating the Celtics with a hobbled Jalen Brunson and a hobbled OG Anunoby. Like, you need those guys to be at least better than they are, like healthier than they are, if you're going to compete in a 7-game series with the Celtics. So you can't put all your eggs in the beat the Pacers basket, especially in a series where you're up 2-0. You can afford to kick back. Hey, if we win, we win. But we're not going to sacrifice our long-term health to win this one.
Of all the teams that are still playing, which is the most, well, obviously the most sustainable, we know, the least sustainable. And I think the Knicks are the least sustainable team going into next year. I really feel like you better ride this run for all you got.
I think so, but also I think part of me believes that because I don't know if I buy what we're getting from Jalen Brunson, what we're going to get consistently.
Well, think of Memphis and Ja a couple of years ago. They rode Ja to the finals, and once Ja went a little weird, everything else collapsed. And Jalen Brunson is carrying an awful lot.
Yeah. And listen, we talk about how giants don't last in this league. Neither do really small guys typically, like guys who are carrying a big load that aren't.
Right. He's built different. I mean, physically, he's built different than your typical little guy, but he's taken the beating that he is taking.
Yeah, he's getting hammered, man.
Mm-hmm. And you don't hear them bitching
down
about it. You don't hear Nick bitching about it.
Well, I'm curious to see what it looks like for the rest of this series, but I do believe they're going to say, well, if we win game 3, we win game 3.
A little profit taking. A little something to take home with us.
I think so. And I think I know you thought that in game 2 of the Nuggets T-Wolves, but again, I think the T-Wolves they weren't going to let you. Like they're nasty. I think the Knicks realize it for the long-term benefit is take a little breather here, step back and be ready to finish off this series and go into the Eastern Conference Finals where you're going to be battling uphill. And it's funny, it's hard to say the Knicks are a way better team than the Pacers. I don't know that they are because it's what matters to you. The top, like the starting 5, the Knicks are better, but the Pacers have a lot better depth. So it's hard to say the Knicks are way better, but
I can tell you my experience. I would rather have 7 dudes than 10 who can play. I'd rather have 7 who know their role, know exactly what their job is, beat up a little bit, but know exactly what they're doing, than 9 or 10 who are all capable, and I got to figure out which one is hot. I'd rather know where I'm going.
When I coached club baseball, if I had to play like a big World Series type tournament where I was going to need 6 pitchers, whatever, I would carry a big roster. Some of these teams would go into these, 8, 10 team tournaments with 16, 17 kids on their roster. I said,
I can't manage that.
I said, I'm only carrying 12 kids and like 2 of them are probably like you're going to be doing a lot of sitting. Like you're in case of emergency break glass kind of players, like no offense. And usually you want like some sort of utility player or something like that in case somebody gets hurt. Right. Or a third catcher. Like in the Texas summer, you start playing in that heat, you might need a third catcher. But I don't want a bunch of extra bodies that are, looking to get fed.
Yeah, and trying to figure out, can he make it when I know I got other things to worry about in the playoffs.
Depth is awesome in the regular season, matters way less. It's in the NCAA tournaments the same way. Like if you tell me how deep a team is in the NCAA, I don't care because they're only 8 kids are going to see the floor.
Right.
Like they're not going to waste time with the 11th best player unless they're up by 30 or down by 30.
Yeah, you look at your guys and go, if you play today, something terrible's happened.
Yep. Or something
great.
incredible's
What
happened.
do they call it, a 30-point guy, up or down?
Yep, 30 points up or down. You can get in the game. In hour number 3, which I guess we've reached
there, man.
Yeah, we're there. We're going to do a little NFL talk. I can tell you that. But first, I want to tell you a story. We're going to get off the sports path for a minute in the next segment. Are there a lot of I haven't seen a lot of them, so maybe I'm not looking. In Vegas now, there are a ton of Teslas. I mean, they are overtaking Vegas. Now, I know we're in Texas here, the fossil fuels capital of America.
Oh, they just hide the car in the back.
Okay, are Teslas becoming in vogue here?
Yeah, they are.
I would literally say 10% of the vehicles on the road in Vegas are Teslas now.
We're not there yet, but there is, like I said, there's a lot of pickups with a Tesla around back plugged in.
Okay. I got a Tesla story that I think you're going to get a laugh out of. This is I couldn't believe when I read this, but I think it'll tickle you, Robbie Tickles. Hour number 3 of the Morning Huddle coming up here on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
This is Jim on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, former orthopedic surgeon, now national medical director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Scheinkup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written about for nearly 2 decades.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain, such as steroids and surgery, are no longer the best ways.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, you owe it to yourself to learn more about this exciting option, using your own body's natural power to get lasting relief. And there's no better place to learn than QC Kinetics.
There is no one in this country today with more clinics, more satisfied patients, more advanced protocols, or more experience in using this exciting option to deliver life-changing results.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318.
There are a lot of benefits and blessings to living a life of gratitude. Our hearts are lightened and not so easily weighed down by the negativity we seem to swim in. We're more optimistic about life, less pessimistic, more enthusiastic, less resentful, more in tune with beauty. And the great thing about gratitude is it's something you can grow in every day. You can start a gratitude journal and write down 5 things you're grateful for each day. You can end each conversation with the words, I appreciate you, or we have so much to be grateful for. These are just a couple of things that you can start immediately, today, right now, to grow in gratitude. One other thing you can do is to take a moment to show gratitude to a person who has blessed your life by saying thank you to them. If you have a mother you're grateful for, when is the last time you told her? Or maybe it's a father, a spouse, or a friend. The thing is, we're finite beings on earth, which means that we have a finite number of days to say to them, thank you. This is Mark Absher with the MacArthur Park Church of Christ. Visit our church online at macarthurchurch.org. The MacArthur Park Church of Christ, connecting God and people.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code KIND to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code KIND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code KIND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
If you need bold banners to boost your business, but you're on a budget, think Staples. Posters, flyers, signs, and menus for less? Think Staples. Staples can print anything you need to move your business forward. Now at Staples, save $50 on your print purchase of $150 or more. Same-day service available on hundreds of items if you order by noon. And all backed by Staples' Print Perfect guarantee. So it's done right or it's printed again free. Staples, your local print and marketing expert. N61, visit staples.com/print for details.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
94.1 FM, San Antonio Sports Center.
The New York Knicks take a 2-0 lead over the Indiana Pacers, 131-21, as they took Game 2 late. Officiating still is the hinge point of the series. Tonight, we have a couple of Game 2s as the Celtics take on the Cavs from Boston, leading 1-0. Tip set for 6 o'clock. The Thunder take on the Mavs at 8:30. Dallas tries to even the series, both games televised on ESPN. For the third time in 4 years, Nikola Jokic is the NBA's MVP, winning the award with 79 first-place votes. He's the 9th player in NBA history to win 3 MVPs. The Cowboys playing host to free agent wide receiver Zay Jones. He's the son of former Cowboy linebacker Robert Jones. Zay spent the last 2 years with the Jacksonville Jaguars. In other NFL news, former Reagan Rattler quarterback Kellen Mond waived by how the Broncos released former Cowboys backup Ben DiNucci. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
8 o'clock, baby. We're halfway through on a Thursday. Morning Huddle here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Do you have a nickname for Thursday? Do you view Thursday as the beginning of the weekend or the end of the week?
I never think about it. I don't know.
See, we're gonna have to see. Thursday to me is the hinge. Like once, like 8 o'clock. Right
Thursday's
now,
a good ass day, isn't
right
it?
now, I can see the weekend. 2 minutes ago, I was still in the middle of the week, but right now at 8 o'clock and 57 seconds, I can see the weekend. It's here.
Okay.
2 minutes ago,
Now,
I was still stuck.
Rob, unlike you, I'm like I love what I do. So the weekend to me is boring. I would much rather just skip the weekend and keep
You're a man with
working.
priorities so out of whack. We're going to have a conversation. You're not doing it right.
Oh, well, you'll have to teach me.
Well,
You will have to teach me. I promised you a Tesla story.
Now, keep in mind, we are in tech. You're Houston type. This is a vehicle that we like, but it's like our crazy uncle. We all have one, but we really don't talk about it.
Would you ever own one?
I'm waiting. Honestly, I would, because I've been in one, and I'm a kind of a torque and speed guy. And oh my gosh, pull your lips back, eyebrows up kind of speed in a Tesla Plaid. If I could get one, I'd get it.
I'll be honest. Like, it is they're supercars. Like it's something from the future. And I'm not like the battery, whatever you think of how
that's not why I would get it.
Yeah, that's not the coolest part. But there are things that about it that are just so cool that it's like, I got in one with my buddy and we're going home from the bar. And
did it drive you home?
Drove us home.
Nice. See, that's it's hard to say no to that.
Drove us home. Like, I don't get it. And I mean, it's not like, I'm not saying he was like too hammered that he couldn't have driven the vehicle, but he had a couple beers, like but I don't know. He's under the limit would be my guess, but it didn't matter. Like, he wasn't.
What if you got pulled over? Would that be a defense?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think if you're behind the wheel, you're stuck for it. But I mean, it did the job. Like, and it, like, I was sitting there, I was like, I don't know about this. And he's like, just watch how it reacts. Like, it's going to blow your mind. And it did. It's incredible.
The first and only time I've been in a driverless vehicle, electric driver, the whole shebang, was in Vegas when they were there. I guess they're still doing it.
They have them now.
There were BMWs that were going around, and I did that a couple of times because they say it's cheaper if you'll get in with it. And there was always somebody sitting behind
There's someone there. They're like, for legal reasons, they have to have someone there in case. They
couldn't drive onto the properties. The properties wouldn't allow them on there. So once they got to the property, the driver would take it over. But in the city streets, the first time you're a little nervous, a little weird, and they're telling you, like, watch this. You can see all the radar feeds and all that kind of stuff. By the third time, I wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah, I mean, we've got the technology. It's coming. AI. What's going to take over first, AI or the apes? TBD. I'll let you know after we see that movie how close things are. So there's a fella named Joshua Lee who
typical random
bastard in Los Angeles. He went while he was in Los Angeles having a weekend getaway, and he rented a car, and he rented a Tesla Model 3.
Now, which one is that? Is that the larger one?
I think so.
Okay.
Yep. He returned the vehicle back to Hertz after his little getaway. Had a good time. And when he got back home, he saw, wait a minute, there's an additional fee I've been charged on my credit card. So he called Hertz and said, hey, what's going on? What's this $277.39 charge?
That's a fee.
That's a fee. They said, what's this on top of the price that I was quoted? And Hertz said, that's the refueling cost for the Tesla Model 3. And
Oh, okay.
he said, listen, man, I'm not sure. Can I speak to your manager? I'm not sure you understand how this car works. There's no fuel. On top of that, when he made the reservation and he showed the receipts, he paid for the skip the pump and save time option, which, so even if he did have a car that took fuel, he could bring it back without refilling.
Okay, there's questions there, but let's carry on.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, maybe the person who rented him the car accidentally checked that box for him. I don't know. But when he asked the question, they said, they said, I know you've got the skip the pump option paid for, but you were still going to have to hold you to this charge. And I thought, well, maybe the case was maybe there's you've got to charge the battery.
Plug it in. Yeah, okay.
But when you see the final receipt, he gave the car back with a 96% battery. And when he took the car off the lot, it had a 96% battery charge. So he brought it back
as is.
As he took it. Yeah. And even if he hadn't done that, if he would have brought it back at 30%, the maximum charge per their EV recharging policy is $35. It says you can return your electric vehicle at any level and we'll recharge it for $35 or $25 for Gold Plus reward members, or return it at the same level and you pay nothing. And he returned it at the same level, was supposed to pay nothing. In other words, there's no way that they could come up with this $277 charge, and no one's going to give him. They're not giving him a refund.
Well, is he the only one that's ever gotten this, or is this a consistent thing?
This is a one-off, and he submitted a question over email, and they said, "I'm unable to provide an adjustment or refund since the service was provided and contract is closed. Your signed rental agreement will also be our basis that you are fully aware of the fuel option that was added on the contract. I hope I was able to clarify this with you. Thank you for allowing me to resume and assist with your concern." That doesn't tell me anything. No, you're still not telling me why I got charged for fuel in a vehicle that doesn't take fuel.
They're acting like any insurance company. First, you say no matter what, and then you'll weed out 80% of the people. You just weed them out. They'll just, I'm not going to worry about it. That's the first. Yeah, he's going to get this fixed. Now, it might take a lawyer. And what I would want to know is how many other people have been charged this? And then we're talking class action. That's as well, how many people are getting this? Because this sounds so absurd when it's clearly delineated.
And like, if you had rented a van from them and brought it back on empty, even at the upcharge that you pay from the rental place, it wouldn't have been $277. It's yet to be resolved. And this is the craziest part. He's a longtime Hertz customer.
Not anymore.
He has President Circle status, which is like top tier status. So he's like, he rents all the time. And he says he likes to rent the Model 3 because it's so much cheaper to recharge than filling up a gas car, particularly when he goes to California. But he says this Hertz rental will be his last. He's done. He's breaking up with him.
I would expect so much more from what is normally a crack rental car staff at airports. Normally those guys are crack ready to help at any instant.
Boy, yeah, I mean,
and this is just not like a Hertz rental car agent to say no.
Yeah, who would have thought? I mean, this is absurd.
It's those one-off idiots that when you talk like, and the way they close down the letter, I'm glad I could be of service.
Yeah,
I'm so glad I was here to print out this form letter.
If there's anything else I can help you with, how about you help me with this first thing? And then we'll talk about if there's anything else. Right now, you haven't helped with thing one. Let's get to thing one, and then we can find out what else you can assist me with. I want to get one more story in here. Newtown Township, Pennsylvania. Is it Newtown or Newton?
Well, it depends on, I always thought it was Newtown till a tragedy, and
now okay,
you know what I mean. You talking about the is it?
No, I don't think that's in Connecticut.
I know,
it?
but it's Newton or Newtown.
It's spelled the same way,
right?
I guess.
So
yeah.
I don't know how the Yankees pronounce it. So we'll
right.
go with Newtown.
Either way. This one's in Pennsylvania. A 7-year-old had a major injury at a little league game. Broke his ankle.
Ouch.
Terrible, terrible thing. And listen, player safety is important. But in this case, it led to an arrest. And you're thinking, wow, what could have gone wrong at the Little League game for there to be an arrest made? Well, the 7-year-old didn't exactly get injured during the Little League game. After the Little League game, mom was moving the car and ran over her 7-year-old son. And had she'd maybe had a little something in her water bottle.
They all did.
Police conducted an impairment test and believed she was, quote, impaired to the point of not being able to safely operate a motor vehicle. She had a strong odor of alcohol and slurred speech.
Little Moscato to go with the evening practice. What's wrong with that?
And she ran over her own kid.
Oh, yeah.
Like, isn't it one of those rules where if I break my thing, I'm not in trouble for it. I broke my thing. Like, if she ran over little Timmy's kid or little Timmy instead of little Johnny, you'd say, well, you can't run over someone else's kid. But in Pennsylvania, you can't run over your own kid after a couple pops.
How I raise my child is up to me.
Yeah, you don't tell me what if I'll raise the rod when I want.
I have a question. You've done a lot of travel baseball stuff. That's not outlandish, is it?
No.
Or the mom.
No, it's not.
Sipping out of a big gulp.
No, it's not. Not at all.
It doesn't shock me. It's tragic and sad. And it's not endemic to baseball, but that's a very typical baseball thing. Because you're in a gym, you can smell it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't, it's just of the baseball parents that I know, that is not uncommon.
Well, and also, let's say you're drinking a little, you can have some seeds or whatever.
Absolutely.
You're covering up
I'm not looking down on it at all because I have partaken myself as a
Yeah.
parent sitting watching practice on a sundown.
But I've
July
also
evening.
been as a coach, I've been subjected to
that's the sadness.
Parents.
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't my kid playing more than he is? Well, ma'am,
there's a lot of reasons, and you're one of
them. I hate to break this to you. Your son's the 13th best player on our 12-man roster. It's we'll keep taking your money. That was like when I had when I got to the point where I was coaching teams that weren't just my kids.
Right.
I had at each age group, I had 2 different level teams.
Mm-hmm.
One was a top tier team,
right,
and one was a team that
select and elite.
It was exactly that.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody who pays for club baseball assumes that their kid is at least going to play high school baseball.
Right.
And I can tell you, like one of the last age groups I was coaching was 14U. And I would bet that every kid that was on my 14U elite team is not only playing high school baseball, but probably pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
I would bet there's not one of the kids that was on my 14U select team that even had a chance, made it past day one of high school tryouts.
This is the kind of question when I would talk to coaches. This is one of the questions that when I would hire one. Which team would you prefer to coach?
It wasn't even close. I didn't want to coach the bad kids.
Really?
I didn't like it. Because I got frustrated,
mm-hmm.
and especially once they're 14, you'd start to talk to them like their high school coaches are going to talk to them, which means you're not babying them.
Mm-hmm.
And there's at some point, it's easy to yell at a kid who is capable of doing something. At some point, you want to yell at kids, but the truth is they might not be capable of doing what you're expecting of them. And that's harder for me.
And it's harder for you to tell the parent than it is the kid.
It is. But also it's you just you try and make them feel like they're doing. And listen, for me, it was like the organization I was working for. they're getting for whatever it is from these kids.
Right. They're a profit. They're a dollar.
They keep the good team equipped.
So, and those guys don't always necessarily need to make the dues. You know what I mean? And that's what will pull an organization apart.
If there's a kid who, hey, I can't afford $250 a month, it's like, it's okay.
But he's an elite, so we'll take it. But if he's just a select,
we'll make it work.
We'll find something.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it works. All right. It is 8:15. On the other side of this, we're going to I'm gonna ask you a question, Rob, about the Houston Astros.
Oh no. My cup's half full in all things in life, AJ.
Well, man, it's yesterday felt like I put the straw in my styrofoam cup and the straw went through the bottom of the cup and it just started leaking. I don't know that my glass is half full on the Astros anymore. I might be willing to say yesterday may have been the day the music died, and I'm going to ask you what you think on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If the pain of losing is too tough, if you're dealing with something that's keeping you out of life, I want you to talk to my friends at Arasti. These Arasti providers are all around San Antonio, all around the country, quite frankly, highly trained medical professionals that are ready to get you out of pain. The way they do it is absolutely unique. Their hands-on approach to improve the healing potential of your body is remarkable. I'm living proof. You know, I put a lot of miles on my body, and most of my adult life, I've had lower back issues. And man, when that thing would twinge up, it would put me down for a month easily. I staggered into an Arasti provider years back, and not only did they get me back in the game quick, within 3 visits, they can do the same for you. That's the average. Under 4 visits, they're going to get their patients back in the game. 99% of their patients would happily recommend Arasti to friends and family. That's the highest recommendation I can offer you. But the reason is it just works. You get a full evaluation. You're going to find out the problem. They fix the problem. And that's amazing to me because I found out my back was due to my hamstrings. Who'd have thought? Get yourself fixed. Call an Arasti provider today. They'll get you fixed quickly. They're going to accept most insurances. And before you know it, you're going to be back in the game. What are you waiting on? Listen close. Don't let pain keep you from doing things that you love. There's a fix out there. It's Arasti. Call them today. I know you're going to thank me later.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, it is Thursday, and that's always good because we get to visit with the General John McClain about all things Houston.
Plus, we'll talk about the NBA playoffs, what we saw last night, and can Dallas bounce back in Game 2 tonight at Oklahoma City? We're talking about it on The Blitz. We get started at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for my favorite game app. It is Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Heck, I'm just one of 3 million active users. They're the easiest to play. They're the most exciting way to play your daily fantasy sports. And it's unlike other apps. On Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. You're a fantasy player. You know when it's more. You know when it's less. Up to 100 times your money according to how you play it. $1,000 on basketball, hockey, and college basketball entries. Today is the time to play. You can turn $10 into big money quick. The biggest moments in professional basketball are happening right now, and it's no fun unless you're playing. Go to Prize Picks right now and remember the code Alamo for your first deposit match of up to $100. That's the code Alamo. Prize Picks. Fantasy, you're playing already. Go win. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the code Alamo, and up to $100 deposit match is coming. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collisions since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you are a family member and needs an experienced attorney, an attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400, 900-0400, or alawyer4us.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
This is my jam.
Aldo Nova.
What a jam. That's in the rotator. We'll have it back up at 9:15-ish, something
It's
like
a
that.
technical jargon.
Yeah. We got to let's find the longer, let's find the extended cut of that one. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Glad to have you in this morning. Sports to all you guys in the chat. Nice seeing
no kidding. It's rolling today.
I seeing some I see a bunch of that's what we would tell. Like, I got so tired. We took a lot of calls when I was in Houston. And this is a pet peeve for me. It's probably for you as a radio guy too. I don't know if you might be one of these guys who kind of just roll. You seem like a guy who rolls with everything. You're very
chill.
Yeah, you're chill.
I'm a stoic by nature.
I get annoyed easily. So one of my big nuisances is when people would call the radio show, and I'm trying to keep a fast-paced radio show, and people would call in and say, you'd say, hey, Bob, you're on the line. What's up? And they, hey, man, how you doing?
How you doing? I'm doing. Yeah.
And then they wait for you, and it's like, I'm doing a radio show.
And then
how are
there's
you doing?
The delay that they don't realize there's a delay, and they've got the radio on in the background, and it's like hitting a pothole on a highway.
And so I just started saying sports. I'm doing sports to you, and like try to get them to start talking. And then it became a thing where the listeners got on and they would just say sports, and then they'd start talking. And it saved me so much time and hassle that now that's like, it was like an introduction. Every time someone I
appreciate the training.
Like if someone sees you out, like people would see me
sports.
I'd be at HEB with my wife. And so like, hey, sports. And kind of a dumb thing, but it's easier.
I don't know.
It's easier than how you doing.
As a San Antonian, we welcome all listeners.
I do too.
But I'm going to treat this kind of like when all the Knicks fans were buying tickets at the in the Philly Stadium. Come on, San Antonio. We got to make sure we're not outnumbered by Houston followers. So just kind of step up your game.
Listen,
I'm not excluding anybody.
You know what, though?
There's plenty of room. But
here's the deal. I got to earn it. I got to earn the trust of these San Antonians.
But I'm vouching for you. Step into the brigade.
Yeah. I'm gonna prove it. I'm gonna prove it to
earn
you
it,
guys.
baby.
I'm gonna
sacrifice your body for the team. Earn something.
All right. Now the Houstonians are gonna be pissed off at me because I gotta tell you, I think the Astros are donezo. Like I think, I know it's early in the season, but it ain't that damn early anymore. And there's just no fight in this team. 12-24 now are the Astros. They've lost 4 straight. They're now a game and a half back of the 4th place team in the AL West. I don't think they're going to be able to dig out of this hole. And the way that they lost yesterday was just embarrassing. I mean, really, both these games against the Yankees were embarrassing. They've now been outscored 19-7 in the 2 games in the Bronx. It's 4 straight losses, and I don't know that there's a fix coming. Am I being too?
You're early. You're not wrong. You're just early. 12-24. That's a week and a half hot streak. Seriously, that's a week and a half getting warm, and they're playing 500 baseball. And then this is a savvy team. I'm looking at. I just went to their website. I want to go. Let's find a reason to be optimistic. And it's not pitching. Pitching's. It's not that, though it should be. But when you're talking Pena and Tucker, those dudes alone get hot.
Yeah,
they had 11 hits yesterday. They hit equal with the Yanks. It was just inopportune hitting.
They've been hitting all year.
So when you're hitting,
them hitting isn't the problem.
Well, it's kind of like when you see a basketball team and go, well, they can shoot. They've just lost a couple of games. Shooting wins games. Hitting wins games. It's pitching still wins championships, but hitting wins games. And that's all we're looking for now. And I think they got enough bats. Pitching, it's just not all healthy. Is it going to be hard? Oh, man, the rest of the world got good around
the
them.
hole's getting dug pretty deep, man.
And it's not so much them. The rest of the world got better. The Yankees are better from last year. We knew it was going to happen. There's just too much talent there, but it's still early.
But here's the deal. The Astros are 28th in ERA right now. 28th. 5.05 is their team ERA. That is ahead of the Miami Marlins. That is ahead of the Colorado Rockies. And that's it. And if you go look through this run, you're not going to, I mean, this is a team that's been pitching reliant. Like they have, and now the hitting's been great through this run, but the pitching's always been consistent. I mean, in 2022, they were a sub-3 ERA team on the season. I mean, that's difficult to do, but to be second from the third worst ERA in the league is just you can't compete. Like it doesn't really, like, I think there's a level where if you say, okay, we've got the 15th best pitching, but we rake, that's a competitive team. But if you've got like the worst pitching, I don't know that it matters how well you hit.
If you say that on July the 15th.
Okay. You think I'm panicking early.
I just, how many times have we written a team off in May? How many times? I mean, I don't even pay attention. This is still preseason to me. Now, granted, the wins pile up, but anymore, baseball wants to be like everybody else. You just got to get there.
Well, the problem is for a lot of this Astros run, there hasn't been another team in their division who wanted to take
That's the problem. Everybody else got better.
And the Oakland A's, who were an absolute joke a year ago. I mean, they were dreadful and really have been for the past couple of years. Last year, they were 50-112, which is a 309 winning percentage. You got to try to be that bad in Major League Baseball. Well, the A's are at 462 right now. They're 18-21. They're not embarrassing. The Seattle Mariners look like they've got something going. The Rangers are coming off a World Series and they're playing good ball again. I mean, the Angels got rid of their MVP, best player in the whole wide world, and are still ahead of you in the standings. There's a lot of lily pads to jump.
Okay. There are certain tells when teams are worried. They won't say it out loud, but when teams and super fans are worried early in the season, they start talking about their prospects. You know, you start, well, things are bad, but down in the farm, we got and I will give you a little bit, I'm starting to see the Astros fan talking about this Uelick, this pitcher.
Yeah.
If we're already talking about this young dude, hey, man, we got some meat in the farm, so, be okay. No, that's when you start going, okay, they're worried inside.
Well, it also tells you about the desperation of it. Like, I mean, this Arrighetti guy, they were talking about like, hey, this guy can come in and really make some changes. And I saw Giancarlo Stanton like hit a ball that I think went through a seat in the outfield.
Man, that was a rope.
I swear to God, it looked like a tee shot at a long drive contest. Like he could have hit this thing at Topgolf and it would have ripped through the net. I mean, it was a line. They are like, there's nobody right now who's even Verlander. He doesn't look like he's supposed to look. Not one pitcher on this team has exceeded expectations. That's scary.
The kid I'm talking about, Miguel Ulola.
Yeah. But
four-seam fastball, 92 to 95. That's the answer right there, man. It's all in this 18-year-old arm.
Yeah, he'll fix it.
That's it.
Not former MVP and Cy Young winner Justin Verlander.
Well, we're going to let Justin's wife help in the rehab of the entire pitching staff.
She can do whatever she wants.
That's what I'm saying. If we can get Justin's wife, which is the way we need to approach it.
If that's the case, my shoulder's been flaring up too.
She'll help you out.
I think she could cure what ails me.
She's the reason for my shoulder problem. That's a whole other issue.
Yeah. All right. Let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to get into some NFL. There were 2 lists of quarterbacks that came out yesterday, and I want to compare and contrast these. I want you to tell me what's further from the truth. We'll do that on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I'll tell you what. Friday, the day before Mother's Day, there is no better place to be than Tri-County Meat Market. How better to prove your love to the person that you love, that brought you into this world, than providing fine seared meats to her? Seriously, it is coming up on the weekend. You're headed to Tri-County anyway. Come join us tomorrow. The Blitz gets going at 2. The celebration goes on all day, preparing for Mother's Day. They're debuting a brand new rub special only to Tri-County. Go check it out. If you're taking care of Mama over the grill this weekend, you better stop by Tri-County early. The specials are there. Grab yourself a steak, one of those big old roasts. If you don't know what you're doing, ask the guy behind the counter. They know what they're talking about. Tri-County Meat Market, 2 locations. We will be over at Huebner tomorrow, but don't forget about out on Ralph Fair. They're waiting on you. The meat is ready. The spices are there. Everything you need to go along with this fine meal you're planning on the weekend is there. Don't forget the 5 for $25 is always in play. It is the best deal in all of San Antonio. Hey, and first responders, you're getting 10% off of that. Head over to Tri-County Meat Market, either location. A great meal starts with great meat from Tri-County Meat Market. Go there today. You can thank me later.
San Antonio Sports Star.
The Golf Club of Texas has some of the best course conditions with the friendliest staff. The golf is great. They have lighted driving range and practice area. While it feels like a country club, it's not a private club. It's open to the public, so bring the family into the Tin Cup Bar, the nicest sit-down restaurant in that area of San Antonio, specializing in Texas food, wine, and spirits. For golf or dinner, go to the Golf Club of Texas off Highway 90, online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at tra.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Being stuck in a bad timeshare can be overwhelming, straining your finances, your health, and even family relationships. I know because everyday families call us for help, stressed to no end because of a timeshare they were misled into buying and can't even use. Some people even get second jobs or come out of retirement just to pay for fees that go on forever. I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help good folks out of bad timeshare deals. And our mission is working. To date, we've helped over 40,000 families achieve timeshare freedom. Give me a call. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free exit info kit. 800-995-2929. 800-995-2929. 800-995-2929.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Let's go!
Hi, it's Jason Minix. You're listening to the home of the Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Thank you, Jason Minix. You can hear him on the Blitz. You'll see him at Tri-County Meat Market tomorrow.
To Meat Menagerie. I hope there's a guy that travels the circuit around San Antonio, but his name is Al Fergani.
Mm-hmm.
He's an Argentinian dude that's kind of a Manu find.
Uh-huh.
And he brings this big Argentinian parrilla grills with the chains and the cages that cook chickens over the fire and sticks that. It is a sight to see. It's a glorious thing.
I love cooking with fire. Love cooking with smoke. It's a beautiful thing. I love meat, Rob. I love meat.
That was at 8:35 and 30.
Yep. I asked you if they've got duck out there, and you said if they don't got it, they can get it. I'm gonna make some duck jambalaya. Is on my.
That might be duck's highest and best calling.
Smoked duck jambalaya, duck and sausage, good combo. All right. Let's do this before we get into the NFL talk. I'm gonna give away tickets to Live Nation's 5-Finger Death Punch and Marilyn Manson. I don't have a read for these tickets. What day is this concert? Y'all don't know, do you? Yeah.
May 14th.
May 14th.
No. September 18th.
September the 18th.
May 14th or September the 18th?
September 18th.
I mean, those are close. I mean,
sometime.
So if you're free May 14th, it doesn't matter now. September 18th is the day you're going to want to be free. 5-Finger Death Punch and Marilyn Manson. Where are they playing, Edwin?
The Germania Insurance Amphitheater.
Where's that at?
Just outside of town.
Okay.
It's
an outdoor venue.
The ironic part of this. This is the Germania here in town, right?
I would assume so.
It's actually owned and run by a local church.
Really?
And they're welcoming Marilyn Manson in.
Marilyn Manson.
That congregation might need to have a little extra holy water on hand.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Ever seen those guys? I've never seen them in concert.
I've seen Marilyn Manson a couple times.
Speaking from ignorance, but it appears, I'm guessing that there's some theatrics there that might be a little bit of disconcerting.
I don't know if they're still as out there as they once were, but I would imagine
I don't think you'd change.
Things don't get less, wild as you go on. You know what? I want to do this the right way. Let's do let's play. You know what? I'm going to give this one to someone on the
Brigade Bar.
On the Brigade Bar.
All right.
How about that?
How are we going to do it?
I want the name. Give me the name of a current or former band member of Marilyn Manson other than Marilyn, other than the lead singer, because the lead singer's named after the band. I want the name of another band member of Marilyn Manson. It can be past or present. The first one to put one of those up on the brigade board is our champion. So I'll see.
One of them has a good name for the band. The lead guitarist has a good name. You'd think he was in the band, right?
Yeah. Well, and a couple of these guys are like most of the original guys are gone now. In fact, I don't think any of these guys are still in the band. All right, so I'm going to go with Hunter Hitch, because Goldfinger was close, but you got to give me a last name. He said Twiggy, but it's Twiggy Ramirez. You got to give the full name. But Hunter Hitch says John 5. John 5 was in the band at one point. He was a guitar player. He He used to play with David Lee Roth's band, in fact, and he played for.
Do you brag about that?
I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't.
But he played with Rob Zombie.
See, I'd put that on my resume.
I think Rob Zombie's like one of the coolest dudes there is.
He's an Austin type, right?
I don't think I think he's a California guy.
I felt like,
but he sure feels Austin-y. Like he's like, I like Rob. I think Rob Zombie's like, if I could be, if I could really be something and like like I not like I would want to be him. But I think the way he lives his life, where he doesn't worry what you think about him.
And I'll make my music and movies the way I want.
Yeah, there's something empowering about that.
But he thinks in a dark way. I don't want to live in the environs that he lives.
So congrats to Hunter, who his wife is so hot.
Really?
Rob Zombie's wife? She's in all his movies. She's she's
normally covered in blood.
Yeah.
Okay.
But boy, she is fiercely hot. But Hunter, congratulations. You are the winner. You're going to see Five Finger Death Punch and Marilyn Manson. September what, Edwin?
18th.
September 18th. So congratulations.
Well, Hunter Hitch, by his photo. Looks like he's a fan.
Oh, he appears
he's got
to
a little
already
be in
stuff to him.
In what's it called when you dress up? In
Halloween?
Well, when
anime
costume? Who are the
cosplay?
Cosplay. He's already cosplaying the Marilyn Manson
Maybe
look.
so.
There's blood on his face.
Maybe so. All right, let's get into some NFL talk. We haven't talked any NFL all day. I'm used to I love the NFL. I talk a lot of NFL, and haven't had the opportunity to do much here.
Well, it's May.
I know. I missed the draft. It's like I'm ready to get back to football season.
Rookies show up next week for the Cowboys. I mean, and OTAs are just around the corner. It's coming back. We have a brief 2-week hiatus.
There were 2 lists of the top quarterbacks in the league. CBS put out a list and Bleacher Report put out a list. And CBS's list was 1 through 32. It ranked the starting quarterbacks in the league, which I like better because then when I see a list like that, the first thing I do is scroll to the bottom and who do they think is the crappiest? And I took some offense to the bottom of their list. I took some offense to the top of their list too. But we can't compare apples to oranges. But at the bottom of CBS's list, we'll start with the bottom and then we'll compare the apples to apples at the top. The worst starting quarterback per Bleacher Report's list, who do you think it was?
Well, I'm not going to look it up, and I will say, in my mind, if you're asking me who is the worst starting quarterback,
projected starting quarterback,
coming up,
which means they put some of these rookies on here too that they say this guy's probably going to be the starting quarterback.
Oh, yikes! Man, I don't know where to put because Anthony Richardson's done nothing for me,
and Anthony Richardson's 24th on the list.
See, that I would put him down there because literally I don't know what the hell to even expect from this guy because he was raw anyway, and he only got a couple games under his belt.
He's at 24.
Oh.
Which means there is a full quarter of the league that they think is worse than him.
Wow. I can't come up with who I would think would be because I don't know.
I'll say this. To me, it's Bo Nix is on their list.
Wow,
he's the projected starter in Denver, but he's not 32. If I made the list, he'd be 32.
How can you put so who do they must hate this guy.
31, Bryce Young.
See, okay. But I get it. No, I get it.
He was bad.
Yeah.
But he was the number one pick.
This isn't a reflection of talent.
Year.
This is just the situation and numbers and what we expect. But I expect both those guys to rise at some point.
Number 32. Daniel Jones. That feels a little unfair to me.
It does. But I thought of him, but I put him kind of as the guy that looks like a lot of other guys category. He's not singularly awful. He's just a guy that looks like a lot of other guys.
29, Gardner Minshew. Would you rather have Gardner Minshew or Daniel Jones?
I don't even consider Gardner Minshew a starter. He is in the Fitzmagic.
But he's the
category.
Projected starter.
I know.
28, Jaden Daniels, who's never taken a snap in the NFL, and Daniel Jones is worse than him. 27, Jacoby Brissett, a lifetime journeyman backup quarterback. Number 26, I took umbrage with. Derek Carr at number 26 feels like a slap in the face. Derek Carr, I'm not saying Derek Carr is great. Derek Carr is about league average quarterback.
Yeah.
26.
Well, it's kind of like a hit song that made it up to 4 and is still on the charts, But he's still, I don't think of him as the 20, but that's what he is.
I don't think he's the 26th. 25, they have J.J. McCarthy.
Now, let's be real, though.
J.J. McCarthy has never taken an NFL snap.
See, I would take every rookie out of this. But even with that, no, before we go any further, I want to know as we grade these, because I think we grade guys different. What are the primary things that you look for in a quarterback that you're grading 1 to 30? Like,
so if I were looking at it, I assume when you make this list and you include rookies, you're saying how good are they going to be this season?
Right.
Not long term. That's a different conversation.
Is there a skill set like arm strength, mobility that you go is more important, less important?
No,
Okay.
Are you like, I love stats like QBR. I love like reading the PFF grades on these guys and like digging into how they do down the field.
Yeah.
So I look at that kind of stuff, but there's also like, are you winning games?
Because Drew Brees had a rag arm. If you're looking like everybody, like
but he's a winner,
the cannon arm guy that gets the 10-yard out there in 1.9 seconds or whatever.
Now listen,
Drew Brees could never do that.
There's some like Justin Herbert's a guy for me
that got a cannon.
Justin Herbert, if you said rank the guys in the league, like based on if you were building a quarterback, what would they look like the skill set?
Mm-hmm.
I think Josh Allen's number 1 for me.
That's who I'd build.
And then Justin Herbert's probably number 2.
Mm-hmm.
But Justin Herbert, I can't say he's a top 5 quarterback because he's never done anything. Like he loses more than he wins. But man, like you can see where it's going to be. Like if he ever gets it together, you can see it. But there's a lot of guys like that.
Nightmare. I don't like that.
You could see that. You could see that with Jay Cutler,
mm-hmm.
and it never really came together. So I get that. But Daniel Jones is another guy. Like if you were creating him in a lab, Daniel Jones, a big, strong guy, mobile, but he's just not that good. Derek Carr at 26 is tough for me. JJ McCarthy being 25, Richardson 24, Will Levis at 22. You're telling me Will Levis, you have more faith in him next year than Derek Carr? I can't believe that. Number 21, Kyler Murray. That feels a little low.
It feels personal. I disagree with that wholeheartedly because for one reason, this entire offense is set up for him to succeed. He is the reason that thing will move. And if it does move, his numbers are going to be ridiculous.
All right, so let's get to these top 12s. CBS and Bleacher Report with their top 12s. They have the same number 1. They have the same number 1 that everyone should have. If you don't think Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the world at this point, I really don't I don't respect your opinions on football because it doesn't matter who's on the field with him. They're always in contention because of Patrick Mahomes. That's how good he is. He had a down year. He had a down year last year, and he was still incredible. They still won the Super Bowl. Like it's going to be hard it's going to take a while. He'll have to suck for a couple years before I say he's not the best.
Oh, even after he sucks for a couple years, he'll
have some leftover. Like but he can do this. Number 2 is a point of contention between CBS and Bleacher Report. Bleacher Report says number 2 is Lamar Jackson. He's the reigning MVP. He's a 2-time MVP. I can see people making an argument for Lamar Jackson. He wouldn't be my number 2. But given his accomplishments, it doesn't seem crazy. And this is where it comes to what you were asking. What are you weighing here? Like Lamar's got a lot of upside still.
If you want to run that style, there is nobody in the world better than him to do it.
Number 2 on CBS's list is Brock Purdy.
It's stupid.
And I respect what Brock Purdy's done. But Brock Purdy? Really? You're telling me you'd rather have Brock Purdy than Joe Burrow? You'd rather have Brock Purdy? Like, if Kyle Shanahan had the option of trading Brock Purdy for Joe Burrow, you don't think he'd do it? Stop. Of course he would. Brock Purdy's done a fine job for Kyle Shanahan, and the 49ers are a really good team. they're not a really good team because Brock Purdy's like this world. And Brock Purdy's been, like I said, he's exceeded all expectation. There's no doubt about it. But he's not the second best quarterback in the league. It's crazy. They both have Josh Allen at number 3. CBS has Joe Burrow at 4. Bleacher Report, Dakota Prescott, number 4 on Bleacher Report's list.
He's there, Brock Purdy. He's there flying the ointment. Both of them overranked. Both
Feels
of them,
that way.
I mean, and they're both essentially the same guy. Both those dumb. And both of them are top tier quarterbacks. But to put them in that by the people that they're above, no.
To me, they're both top 10 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Not top 5 quarterbacks.
Absolutely. And the reason they're not top 10, all of them share a different reason for not being in the top 5. But that doesn't mean they're not top 10, and that doesn't mean they can't win with a Super Bowl. But to put Dak there, that's just, you're going to tell me that there's a general manager out there that you go, would you rather have Dak or Justin Herbert? Would you rather have Dak or Jordan Love? Which may be in the eye of the beholder. Aaron Rodgers, I don't count. Tua Tagovailoa, would you rather have him or Tua? Well, now we're starting to get into a situation where it's kind
of like we talked about the other day. At least with Tua, there's still some unscratched lottery ticket to it. But for this 1 year, I guess you could make an argument that maybe you'd take Dak. But given the stats he had last year, I don't know. But what I won't say, so Bleacher Report has Dak at 4. They have Joe Burrow at 9.
See, you have a different opinion of Burrow than I do. And I don't view him as oft injured yet. And I probably should. I probably should.
He kind of is.
But he doesn't feel like a always injured guy. I don't know why I haven't gotten that yet. It just seems like, yeah, he's been hurt a couple of times. I saw what happened to him when he got hurt. And most guys would have gotten hurt when they got hit like that. So I'm not going to hold the oft injured over him yet.
And maybe it's like part of it's unfair because he blew the knee. And then he missed that time with the appendix,
which I'm not going to hold against him.
You can't hold again, and it's never going to happen again.
Right.
His appendix will never rupture again. But he had a slow start to the season because he didn't have a training camp. And then at the end of this year, the wrist, it's like, and then he also had an injury. He had injuries in college.
I agree, but I think we're at a pivot point where he's not quite injury riddled, but another year of this, then we start questioning ability and availability.
Yeah. What we know is he's not durable. He's not it's not one of the first things you'd mention about him.
Many quarterbacks are, though, really.
Mahomes is durable. Josh Allen's durable. That might be the list. That might be the list. So CBS at 5 has CJ Stroud, which I think it might be a little early for that.
Yeah. Ask Joe Burrow what that second year looks like.
It's tough. The league adjusts. Bleacher Report has Jalen Hurts. Number 6, CBS has Lamar. Bleacher Report has Purdy. Are you more comfortable with Purdy at 6, or is that still too high for you?
Still too high.
All right. 7, CBS has Jalen Hurts. Bleacher Report has CJ Stroud.
Same guy.
8 for CBS is Dak Prescott. Does that feel better?
That's exactly where he belongs.
8 for Bleacher Report is Jared Goff.
And exactly where he belongs.
Okay.
They're the same guy.
9 on CBS is Justin Herbert.
Too low.
9 for Bleacher Report is Joe Burrow.
Too low.
CBS 10, Jordan Love. Tua for Bleacher Report.
Now I want to converse on this one. And I like the comparison between Jordan Love and Tua, and I'd also throw Kyler in there as that other kind of group of 3 guys that could go one direction or the other. Of those, what do you think of Jordan Love as a whole? Is he a guy that is there a separator there for him?
I was really worried about Jordan Love going into last year. He exceeded my expectations. He looked pretty good, but I think that you could say the same thing about him that you just said about CJ Stroud. And while he's not technically in year 2, this is really going to be his year 2. And the league adjusts to you.
Yeah.
If you make the league look bad in year 1, they are going to adjust
on you.
This is something to always think about with second-year quarterbacks. If you have an awesome rookie year, chances are good your second year is not going to be that good. If you have a terrible rookie year, chances are good it could be incrementally better, but chances are good it's going to be better. Like it's unlikely that you're not going to grow if I think there's almost no way Bryce Young's as bad year 2 as he was year 1.
Better not be.
If he is, then he's not an NFL quarterback.
Well, the natural progression, like CJ, he got a last place schedule to play against, and they won by the hair of their teeth a lot of times, and he doesn't get that anymore. And that's the same thing that happened to Burrow. I mean, you get that early bad schedule, and you capitalize, and carrying through that next year's tough. I think that all the guys we're talking about are capable of continuing. I think CJ Stroud's numbers, he's going to throw some more interceptions. He will. And his numbers might dip a little bit better, but he's going to be a better quarterback, even though it might not be reflected in their team's record just because they're just playing a much more difficult schedule.
Yeah, it's going to be tougher for them. Number 11 on both lists are elder statesmen. CBS has Aaron Rodgers. Bleacher Report has Matt Stafford. And Matt Stafford's a guy that I see, and I'm like, man, I think he was so much better last year than people kind of expected him to be. Like I think everybody to a man thought he was just totally washed and was going to be done. And he looked like he still got some juice. I like Matt Stafford. I've always been a Matt Stafford fan. I think if Matt Stafford's healthy, he can still be a really good quarterback.
He is. He's accurate. He plays regardless, and that's one of the things that I think has gone so underappreciated about him over his career. That guy plays hurt and never really dips. He's always there.
He's got to be real hurt to not play. And number 12, Tua and Justin Herbert. Bleacher Report Herbert all the way down at 12. Wow. Some of the notables on CBS's list: Watson 17, Russell Wilson 19 on those lists, Trevor Lawrence at 15. All right, last hour of the show coming up, and we're going to do our player draft, our playoff draft on the other side. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for my favorite game app. It is Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Heck, I'm just one of 3 million active users. They're the easiest to play. They're the most exciting way to play your daily fantasy sports. And it's unlike other apps. On Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. You're a fantasy player. You know when it's more. You know when it's less. Up to 100 times your money according to how you play it. $1,000 on basketball, hockey, and college basketball entries. Today is the time to play. You can turn $10 into big money quick. The biggest moments in professional basketball are happening right now, and it's no fun unless you're playing. Go to Prize Picks right now and remember the code Alamo for your first deposit match of up to $100. That's the code Alamo. Prize Picks fantasy. You're playing already. Go win. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the code Alamo, and up to $100 deposit match is coming. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
PSA for anyone who's not the best at remembering dates. Mother's Day is May 12th. Luckily, finding something she'll love is easy. Just go to Kohl's. I got a Sephora fragrance set for $35. Then with the extra 20% off, I scored cute PJs for just $19.99 and jewelry for under $30. Plus, I earned Kohl's Cash and found even more great prices across the store. Yep, it doesn't get better than Kohl's. Select styles. Offers end May 12th. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
What's keeping you from learning the language you've always wanted to speak?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make learning fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. And in 10 minutes a day, Babbel's bite-sized lessons are designed to get you having real conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
That's not long.
It's not hard.
It's perfect.
It starts here. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Before you fire up that grill, make sure you get into Tri-County Meat Market. Hi, Jason Minix here. Tri-County Meat Market has everything you need. If you're thinking steaks, you want some chicken, some poppers, beef ribs, pork ribs, brisket, picanha, tri-tip. They've got it all at Tri-County Meat Market. Take advantage of their Pick 5 for $25, and Tri-County always offers a 10% discount for military and first responders. Tri-County Meat Market, 2 locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Heebner, or online at tricountymeat.com.
San Antonio's Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
The New York Knicks take a 2-0 lead over the Indiana Pacers, 131-21. That's they took game 2 late. Officiating still is the hinge point of the series. Tonight, we have a couple of game 2s as the Celtics take on the Cavs from Boston, leading 1-0. Tip set for 6 o'clock. The Thunder take on the Mavs at 8:30. Dallas tries to even the series, both games televised on ESPN. For the third time in 4 years, Nikola Jokic is the NBA's MVP, winning the award with 79 first-place votes. He's the 9th player in NBA history to win 3 MVPs. The Cowboys playing host to free agent wide receiver Zay Jones. He's the son of former Cowboy linebacker Robert Jones. Zay spent the last 2 years with the Jacksonville Jaguars. In other NFL news, former Reagan Rattler quarterback Kellen Mond was waived by the New Orleans Saints, while the Broncos released former Cowboys backup Ben DiNucci. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricade.com.
Studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hour number 4, baby. Here we go. Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Glad to have you in with us. It's been one of those mornings where I think we've bounced around pretty well.
On a day like this, what you got to do?
We talked about Hertz rental car charging a man for not refueling the Tesla that he rented.
Yeah, you run a Tesla, you're running a risk anyway.
And then doubling down on it. They're like, he's like, hey, you can't put fuel in this. Well, you still owe us.
We have your credit card number.
Yeah, what are we going to do? Give you your money back? No, friend. So, something, Rob, you asked this on Monday. And I said, nah, never me. You said, am I freezing you out in here?
I told you. There's something about where you are. It is a waterfall of cold air.
My goodness. I'll probably appreciate this in a month or two.
No, it's always cold there, man.
I walked. So yesterday after the show, I was like, I got to walk outside and like warm my bones a little. But then I went outside and it wasn't warm. It was like kind of drab. I swear it's rained every day since I've lived here.
It's been very strange since you've been here. We wanted you to welcome you out of the desert so you get used to
a lot of humidity.
Get your sinuses all kind of moistened up.
Yeah, it's happening, man.
Have you suffered any allergies since you've come back?
I take a Zyrtec every morning.
Yeah.
I take it with my gout pill and my fish oil and all the pills that I take every day.
I take
my
those,
antidepressants.
Yeah. Well, I mainline that, and then and then there's the Flomax. That,
yeah.
Use the night through. So
man, what's Flomax do? Does it make sure you
I think
get it all out at once?
I think it has something to do with the size of the prostate. That's all I know.
Okay. I tried to take a nap yesterday. I was laying down for like an hour and 20 minutes. And I had to pee twice in that time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not normal. I go through the day and don't have to do that. But it's like, of course, I'm trying to take a nap. And my body's like, no,
your body clock is adjusted. You have a rhythm and you've backed it up by about 4 hours. So everything that you used to do 4 hours from now, you're doing now.
Yeah,
so
maybe that's what it is. All right. We talked about doing this draft, a playoff draft. And the idea is to build almost an all-star team with the guys that are left. Let's do this. Let's Edwin, I want you to have heads or tails. I don't know if you got a coin or something, or just write down a number, 1 through 10, and we'll let Rob pick odd or even.
That's fair.
And the winner gets the first selection. Or do we do a snake draft? Like, do you get the first pick and I get the next two, and then you get the next two? Like,
in the interest of brevity, that might be the best way to do it.
Let's do that. Okay. So whoever gets the first pick gets to choose if they want first pick or second and third pick.
You are new to the city. I will allow you the year. It is your option, sir.
Then you know what? I'm going to let you have the first pick, and I'll take 2 and 3.
Fair enough. I will step into the void. My fantasy team is normally the Mambo Kings. We will take the Mambo Kings on the clock. We will go ahead and step right in. Mambo Kings draft the MVP, Nikola Jokic.
Okay. I'm not the Mambo Kings. I don't have a name for my team. So we're right now we're the like the Savannah Bananas or something. Yeah. I'm going to take SGA, and I'm going to take Anthony Edwards.
Ooh, that's a lot of buckets. Somebody gonna have to pass the ball.
That's all right.
They're gonna have to
SGA can run that point. I'm not going to give you my strategy yet. Never mind. Go ahead.
For my second pick, and this is all the guys that are still playing, correct?
Only guys that are still in.
I want a point guard. I'm taking Derek White.
Oh, okay. You got another pick coming.
I know. I'm going to take a shooting guard. His name is Donovan Mitchell.
Wow,
because he can defend your current MVP in Jaylen Brown. Not Jaylen Brown, in
Anthony Edwards.
Brunson. No, I think Jalen Brunson is the MVP playing right now.
Jalen Brunson's still on the board, by the way.
I know.
And oddly, I'm not going to take him right here.
Really? Isn't that crazy?
I'm going to take Jason Tatum.
And I don't blame you one bit. But isn't that crazy?
It is crazy.
He is legit the best player playing right now.
Now, part of it is my first 2 picks were on backcourt guys, and I don't have room for him right now.
But you chose other backcourt guys.
I did.
And
do you think would you have chosen differently?
Absolutely, I would have. But the irony of all this is I can't, as much as we've watched, if he'd have played the second quarter, he had another 40-point game.
Yeah.
How many in a row until we finally go, damn, all right, you're that good. But we're still not there. I need to find some kind of rebounding 4. And there's not any. I'm not going to draft Karl Anthony Towns. I'm not going to do it.
My team is going to be small. We're going to play small ball.
I'm thinking I'm going to have to go that way, and I don't want to go where I'm about to go.
Well, I get this pick.
I know you got to pick, and I'm going to have to pick a schlub that I don't want to have to get. But to make my team, I'm going to have to get a guy that probably it's going to be like Mason Plumlee making the Olympic team. You don't got what everybody needs, but you got what I need.
I'm taking Luka, who's underperformed so far in this round, but I think like Jason Tatum and Luka, I mean, you could argue are the 2 best players after Jokic that are available. And I'm getting them 3rd and 4th. So that's where I'm going to go. So now I've got SGA, Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum, and Luka Doncic. I've got 1 pick left to go. You get to wrap up your team here. You've got Jokic, Derek White, Donovan Mitchell. Where are you going?
You tipped your hand, said you're going small ball. I'm going Jaylen Brown.
Okay. So you're kind of, I guess... Yeah, you wouldn't say small.
But I'm going to get bigger right now.
Yeah, here we go.
Michael Porter Jr.
Okay.
I got my shooting. I got a bunch of non-me guys and 1 me guy.
And what I'm going to do with my last pick is take Rudy Gobert.
Oh, out of sight, out of bounds.
And he's not a guy I would really love to have, but who's the second best center?
Judging by what we've seen, you got the Nikola stopper. You got the
not
Joker
a bad
stopper.
thing to have. So here's the question for the brigade or for any callers, which by the way, I need to write down our phone number so I can say it and let people know where to call in. What's the number again?
656-3776.
656-3776.
And that's a 210 for all you newbies. If you're an 830, welcome to San Antonio.
If you want to be a judge of our teams,
yours is prettier on paper.
It's certainly prettier on paper.
It's prettier on paper.
And you know what? Here's the thing that, and I'm not here to judge your team. I am. I think my team's better.
It's prettier on paper.
I think the mistake you made is because you getting Porter Jr. is a nice pick, but you got him last. Mm-hmm. Like you knew that's not a guy that would have been on my radar. I would have never in a million years put Derek White on my team.
I like his offense, but more importantly, I think he brings the ability to defend 2 positions and play 3.
And like if we were rounding out these teams and we said let's pick all the way down so we've got some depth and we're going to like a 9 deep team or something, I think everything would be a little bit different. I might have taken Jalen Brunson earlier,
right?
Because I wouldn't have him out there starting for my team, but he could get some minutes.
This is the guy that
I know. I'd love to have Karl Anthony Towns on my bench. And he's a guy that I knew you would never take, so I would have taken him like as my 9th guy.
See, he'd shoot me out of a game. I'd have him, and I'd put him in a Michael Porter position, and it would be the night that he decided that, tonight I'm not going to rebound, and I'm just going to shoot from the corner all night long.
So I've got Gobert at the 5. You've got Jokic at the 5. I guess my 4 is Jason Tatum.
He is.
Yours is Porter.
I like your matchup. I think individually your matchups looks good. I like my team.
The thing is, with my, I don't know that any of them have positions.
That was my intention. I only have one guy with a real position.
Luka, SGA, and Anthony Edwards are all kind of versatile.
That's where the league is now. And you have to when you look at guys like that and you're trying to put a team together, you're not looking at what they do the best. You're trying to figure out what they do the worst. Like, what exactly is it that I'm trying to have to fill a gap for? And with these, it's so small. You think, well, this guy can do everything but that's enough for me not to want him.
Yeah, and then Mitchell and Brown are both kind of swing guys or whatever. Tarek says Rob lost easily.
I think
he's my new favorite
paper,
listener.
On paper,
Edwin, what do you think? You're an NBA guy. You're a basketball guy. Who's got the better squad here?
Say the teams again.
Jokic, Derek White, Donovan Mitchell,
Jaylen Brown, and Michael Porter Jr.
Michael Porter Jr. That's Rob's squad. Mine is SGA, Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum, Luka, and Rudy Gobert.
You like yours?
Not even close.
Okay, you got to remember we're on the radio, so pointing doesn't always work.
So
right, you got to say words.
And I'll be honest, I would have liked to have drafted Pascal Siakam. I would have if he'd have just shown me.
Yeah, if you had a team where you could put some depth,
I'd have taken him probably over Jaylen Brown if he'd have just shown me anything at all so far.
Did you give any thought to OG Anunoby?
I love his game. But he's a glue guy, and I'm looking for a guy to play to start.
All right.
Yeah, you've got an all-star team. I'll give it to you. You have what if the all-star fans were voting, you would have gotten far more votes.
I think it's wild that neither one of us drafted Jalen Brunson.
But I think we are I know we represent everybody outside of the greater Madison Square Garden block area. It just feels like something that if once attention
like a house
is paid,
of cards.
Yes, it'll be stopped.
Yeah,
but not yet.
Yeah, when you said Derek White, I was like, wow.
I love this guy. As much as we've talked about Maxey and his improvement, Derek White and from where he was 3 years ago to where he has become, no one in the league has improved their game more than Derek White. Remember, this guy went to a cooking school, Johnson and Wales, to start things out.
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird when you're putting these together also. And that's what I waited until I knew Gobert was going to be my big man because it's not like you would ever play Gobert and Jokic at the same time. So you weren't going to take him. No. So I was just able to fill in the rest of my roster first, knowing that
my personal preference for a big is I'm kind of I have to have a passing big man. I like the wheel and spoke idea. I didn't get enough shooting. In hindsight, I would have liked to have found a little bit more shooting.
Donovan Mitchell,
he's a bucket, but he's not a shooter. You know what I mean? I would have liked to have found a guy that
you would have liked to have found a Tyrese Halliburton,
a Halliburton, or another Porter that I can just rely on. Hey, wait out there, and the ball will find you. Just hit it.
Nobody took Halliburton. Nobody took Jalen Brunson. And we're all saying, how do we get offense? Well, maybe we're looking in there. Also, no one took Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one took Jamal Murray, and that's probably partly because of how he's played so far.
That's under the Siakam. I just need something from you at some point.
But except Karl Anthony Towns has shown you a lot, and you're like,
that's a personal
don't believe
thing.
in it.
And you know what? That's why people lose, because you get personal. And it's personal with me.
Fair enough. All right. All right.
You won the first draft. I'll hand it over to you. I got flustered. I turned into the Vikings. I almost missed my pick.
I noticed that. I said, hey, you're on the clock. You're on the clock.
Tick, tick.
Oh, pardon me. I've my energy drink coming up and bite me. I'm going to tell you where social media can steer you wrong later on, or actually I'll do that on the other side of this break. It is the Morning Huddle here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Don't click on the link. I want to tell you, my friends, about Connecticut. I have one question to ask you. Do you love your water? Do you have plastic water bottles in your house? You know, I can't give you a scientific study, but I can tell you the anecdotal study in my home. Once a Connecticut hit my home, there was no more need for a plastic water bottle. The water coming out of my sink, out of my faucet, is as good as any water I buy. Can you say that? Connecticut customers can, because they know they have the safety, security of a water softener that you don't plug in, that doesn't use any salt until you turn on the faucet, that makes sure your pipes are clean and your skin is cleaner. If you don't have a Connecticut, you can't guarantee that. I find out, call them today. The number is 656-PURE. No more appropriate phone number. 656-PURE will get a Connecticut in your home for the first time for 90 days. No commitment, no questions. Find out what all of your neighbors already know. That Connecticut, designed and built in the United States, is built for South Texas. You know, our aquifer puts out some good water, fine sweet tea, and some good old cold beer. But I'll tell you what it leaves in the pipes, we could leave it in the ground. And that's what Connecticut does. Call them today. Get a Connecticut in your home. Go to ConnecticutSA.com for all the details. Sing it while you type it. Get yourself a Connecticut. Thank me later.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, it is Thursday, and that's always good because we get to visit with the General, John McClain, about all things Houston.
Plus, we'll talk about the NBA playoffs, what we saw last night, and can Dallas bounce back in Game 2 tonight at Oklahoma City? We're talking about it on The Blitz. We get started at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Over the past decade, the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the UFC fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch a game. The Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant and in the same plaza as the Big Blind there at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Whether it's her first Mother's Day or her 40th, she deserves more. Shop tons of stunning on-trend jewelry for every budget at Diamonds Direct. Diamond fashion jewelry, beautiful birthstones, everyday pearls starting at just $200. Commemorate the real loves of her life with a gorgeous pendant featuring the birthstone of the one who made her mom. This Mother's Day, Diamonds Direct has everything you need to say thank you. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Online at diamondsdirect.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. $5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code LOT to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code LOT for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code LOT for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
For the last 4 decades, San Antonio sports has dared this community to dream big through the transformational power of sport. For 40 years, we've inspired youth to get in the game, motivated San Antonians to live healthy, been a force behind places to play, and hosted events that impact. As we celebrate 40 years of dreaming big, we invite you to dream big along with us. To support our mission, donate today at sanantoniosports.org.
This is the absolute worst time of year to be dealing with joint pain. You can't do the outdoor stuff that you love to do, like golfing, hiking, biking, jogging, playing on the beach. Hey, it's James Pledger with San Antonio Sports Star. Listen, don't go through the summer missing out on life. Call QC Kinetics now and find out how they can use biologics from your own body to give new life to your achy joints, like your knees, hips, back, shoulders. QC's regenerative medicine protocols can restore and repair that damaged tissue with no surgery, no steroids, no drugs, and best of all, no downtime. This is the future of medicine. Tens of thousands of QC Kinetics patients around the country are living their best life this year because they made the call. QC medical professionals are under the direction of Dr. Mitchell Shinecup, who is an orthopedic surgeon who became the future pioneer in regenerative medicine. He knew there had to be a better way. So call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318. Locations in Hollywood Park, Westover Hills, and New Braunfels.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
9:20 on the Morning Huddle. Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
It's 9:20, not quite the same as 4:20.
No.
Different
Depends
thing
on
entirely.
Depends on your time zone.
Yeah, I guess so. Somewhere it's
If you're in
4:20 somewhere.
If you're in Hawaii right now, light it up, baby.
Is it 4:20 yesterday? Or I seriously,
it'd be 4:20 this morning in Hawaii.
So
right
they're
now.
that far behind us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's 7:20 in Vegas. So yeah, I think it's about 3 hours. Yeah, I think 4:20 right now. Congratulations, Hawaii. I don't know if it's. I'm feeling. You think it's legal in Hawaii?
It is. Has to.
Texas, is there any chance of this?
Yeah.
Just down the road?
I think it's sooner than later. You know, every state gets broke and they start looking, okay, what else can we sell?
Yeah.
We can't sell that. We can sell that. So I think we're gonna get gaming first.
I was gonna ask you, what's first?
And the
legalized betting or weed?
See, here's the problem with the legalized betting, because they're gonna legalize it. It's coming. But the way they're going to legalize it's going to be weird, because they're dealing with, keep in mind, every state surrounding Texas has gambling.
And they all line the pockets of the politicians here.
Every county commissioner that has a border on another state is getting money from whatever to keep that little populace voting no gambling.
There's a reason why the biggest casino in the state of Oklahoma is one exit after you cross in. And if you go to LaBerge or the Nugget in Louisiana,
right there's
about 1 in 10 vehicles there with a Louisiana plate. The other 9 are Texas license plates, because it's funny you said that. Every state that borders Texas has legalized gambling. What do they all also have in common?
A lot of weed over there too.
Well, and they're also poor.
Oh, yeah.
Like those are poverty-stricken states, all of them. Mm-hmm. And Texas has money, and it's funny that we're the ones that don't have gambling. It's ironic.
No, when they do legalize it, though, don't expect the downtown Hilton to have a casino in it. That's not how it's going to work.
No.
Initially, they're going to build it, from what we're reading, 3 or 4 of these resort areas that will encompass that. Well, that's where the gambling will be, and you got to go to it. There'll be one near Houston, one near Dallas, one near San Antonio, and that'll be the initial thing before there's a casino on our Riverwalk.
Medical's already legal in Texas?
Medical's legal, yeah. In fact, there's a place here in San Antonio that's one of the largest indoor grows in the entire country.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder if I qualify for that.
In the state of Texas, if you've ever had cancer, you immediately qualify, just right off the bat. And if you're a veteran, which you and I are, there's a pretty strong case to get it. But they limit the potency, and there's some other.
You would think medical would be the highest potency.
It's limited.
All right. Well, not that I'm.
We're just talking about stuff.
Yeah, we're just
just talk.
Like if hypotheticals is what we're
I
living
read
in
a lot.
You what?
I read a lot.
Yeah, me too.
I'm reading.
Me too, friend. Me too. I told you guys I was going to warn you about some of the downfalls of social media. And Landy Paraga, who is 23 years old.
Is that a male or a female?
That's a lady.
Okay.
And she looks like this. I'll show the
that would be an influence.
I'll show the
I'm
brigade
influenced.
and I'll show Rob. Yeah, she's very influential. She is a former Miss Ecuador contestant. Very, very, very lovely. Except now she's dead.
Well, that sucks.
She had 170. Well, she had. Does she have or had? I don't know.
I think if they're still, does their account still active? I bet
It's still active. Do they
following.
still? I always feel weird unfollowing dead people. Like if I'm following someone and they die, do I just unfollow them? I don't know. I don't know what the rule
I don't
is.
think they care, man.
Yeah, you're probably
Yeah,
right.
go ahead and unfollow.
She had 173,000 followers on Instagram, and she was an active poster. I think that's okay, but you've got to know what your lifestyle is. And if you live a certain lifestyle, there's probably some things you don't want to share. And when I say lifestyle, I mean that like this. She was in a relationship with an Ecuadorian drug kingpin.
Why am I not surprised by that?
Yeah. I mean, listen, drug kingpins often get chicks that are out of their class if they weren't drug kingpins. You know what I mean?
Not often. I would say in every occurrence.
Yeah, they always land something hotter than they would if they weren't a drug kingpin. But she went to a restaurant that had a very distinctive food item, an octopus ceviche, and the restaurant logo was visible on the menu.
Okay.
She posted that out to all her nearly 200,000 Instagram followers, including guys who wanted to hurt her drug kingpin boyfriend. So they went to the restaurant in masks and just killed her.
Wow.
So
did she get her ceviche at least?
Yeah, she finished the ceviche.
Well,
that she had it in she had a doggy bag with her when she died, unfortunately. And I don't know what happened to that. I don't know if they what do you do with it? Like, do you eat it?
Well,
you don't want to waste it.
No.
Octopus ceviche isn't cheap. You know, you a ceviche guy?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
There's some. It's funny that we were talking about foods that we like, foods that we are opposed to. You are not you've never had restaurant ramen.
Never. Not once have I ever ordered. And not that I'm in it. I always just find something else on the menu that I'd rather have. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I applaud those that do order.
You know what I don't like? And a lot of people do. I don't know why I don't. I've just never gotten into it. I don't like shrimp cocktail. I don't like cold shrimp. It throws me off a little bit. I can do cold shrimp if it's in like a Caesar salad, but I don't like iced down shrimp.
Will you eat oysters?
Yes. Yeah. But I also don't like cocktail sauce either.
I'm about to say, if you don't like cocktail sauce and
it's not for me. It's not for me.
So I get it. I was looking to check up, like, if you're an Ecuadorian beauty queen and you were looking to date up and get some money, I wanted to see what their primary exports were. Who's making the money? Now, cocaine and drugs did not make the list but I feel like Ecuador, you'd think primarily Ecuador's primary exports would probably be some sort of coca product.
Yeah.
Some sort of oil product, and it is. And bananas. But their third
bananas.
Their third most important export,
child soldiers,
crustaceans.
So like seafood items.
I would assume, but it's under the broad category of crustaceans, and they export nearly $8 billion a year.
Damn.
Crustaceans. Then I was thinking, well, can crustaceans be would that be the cover? Like, could she have been actually dating like a
crustacean kingpin
exporter? But maybe
like the guy that runs the Krabby Patty on SpongeBob.
That's where I'm headed. Was there an a fellow crabber that just
Mhm.
wanted her out of the way.
It could be plankton.
Yeah. See, I mean, it all kind of plays in. It doesn't have to be drugs. It could have been,
Yeah.
got to get the Krabby Patty market cornered in Ecuador.
I got to get that recipe.
Their fourth most important export is not crustaceans, but processed fish.
I thought you were going to say prostitutes. I was like, they're
Well, no, they don't
shipping
export
that
them.
many out?
Yeah,
Wow.
no, we go there for that.
Processed fish?
Processed, not fish. Processed.
Is that like the kind of crab you like imitation crab?
Yeah, that's really just like I don't know what
I don't know what
imitation
I
crab?
really don't know what it is.
Scallops, right? Is that what's supposed to be? Like they take scallops and turn it into crab?
It's processed fish, I would assume.
And
Or is
that can get
processed
you
fish
killed.
like sardines and like canned fish? I don't know.
I have to
Anchovies.
assume that is the fish coming from someplace else? They process it and it moves on, and that's where they hide the cocaine.
Do you like sardines and anchovies and stuff like that?
I do if I don't know that I'm eating them.
Okay.
Like I'm not going to pull a sardine out of a can and just drop it down my gullet. I'm not going to do that.
I had an uncle who did that. Would sit there and crack open a can and had some crackers and would put sardines on it. That's crazy.
But I appreciate a sardine and a good Caesar salad. So
yeah, people would take sardines when I was in the Army. They'd take cans of sardines out in the field, and I would load up my ruck with. I mean, everybody takes ramen.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's like a treat to have out in the field because you've got your little thing, your little
burner thing.
Yeah. But I would take canned Chef Boyardee, and it was a poor choice probably
because you
it's
gotta rock
heavy.
it. Yeah,
you're carrying it. And but I'd take usually 3 or 4 cans, and I'd be like, it's worth it because like when you're about 6 days in the field and you're tired of eating the stuff that that they're bringing you, it's like that Chef Boyardee will fuel you.
I was Air Force, so we were accustomed to bone china and silver. I mean, we didn't have to deal with the stuff you guys did. But in my one rare occurrence where I had to eat the rations, there was a couple that weren't bad. Honestly,
pork chow mein.
Yeah.
Here's the key to eating.
Also was also pretty good.
The key to MREs is
that's it.
You've got to use the Tabasco, and it doesn't matter what the meal item is.
Right.
The Tabasco is going to make it better because I promise you, Tabasco tastes better than whatever you're eating.
Well, I think that's a good rule of thumb.
Whatever you're eating,
especially if I've cooked it.
All right, when we come back, we're going to go over the lines and see what there is to bet on tonight. We got a couple games in the NBA. Games tonight that we haven't really discussed, Rob, so we'll be able to dig into those a little bit on the other side of this break. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
San Antonio's Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
There's a 3-year-old girl named Audrey who has already pretty much got the vocal chops to be a metal singer.
I'm gonna sing right now.
Wow.
Do you like metal, JD?
I do, actually. And, I like Metallica. My car's made of it.
Let's get some metal. The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Texas weather this time of year means storms, wind, rain, and hail. If you were hit with the recent storms and you think you have roof damage, don't make the situation worse by putting your faith in one of those out-of-town storm chasers. Work with a local roofing company with years of experience. Work with a company whose people live in our area and deal with the same weather we do. That's Stevens Roofing, 210-785-0994. Or you can get them online at stevensroofing.net. Buy local, stay local, trust local with Stevens Roofing.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Why'd the kid jump off the boat?
I don't know. Why?
Peer pressure.
Oh. Good one, Ned.
Ned isn't funny, but Ned owns a boat, and you don't. So every time Ned tells another one of his unfunny boat puns, you're going to laugh loud and keep on laughing until you get a boat of your own.
A pier where you put a boat.
Yeah, I get it.
And when you do get a boat of your own, make sure you save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for my favorite game app. It is Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Heck, I'm just one of 3 million active users. They're the easiest to play. They're the most exciting way to play your daily fantasy sports. And it's unlike other apps. On Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. You're a fantasy player. You know when it's more. You know when it's less. Up to 100 times your money according to how you play it. $1,000 on basketball, hockey, and college basketball entries. Today is the time to play. You can turn $10 into big money quick. The biggest moments in professional basketball are happening right now, and it's no fun unless you're playing. Go to Prize Picks right now and remember the code Alamo for your first deposit match of up to $100. That's the code Alamo. Prize Picks fantasy. You're playing already. Go win. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the code Alamo, and up to $100 deposit match is coming. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
The NFL lives right here. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Here we go, baby. Putting a bow on this bad boy here on the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I am AJ Hoffman. He is Rob Thompson. What a guy this Rob is. You're a gentleman and a scholar. You got something going on tonight, don't you?
Well, it's the San Antonio Sports Foundation. It's a fundraiser, and
Are you like emceeing?
No.
Oh, you're just attending.
I'm just an attendee. This is tall cotton. These are the movers and the shakers and this kind of thing. I'm just going to be standing around.
Should I have gone?
Yeah, it's a good place to see folks. I'll give you that.
You told me, you're like, I could get you a ticket. It's like something about tuxedos.
It's like tuxedos and tennies kind of thing. Formal affair, wear your kicks and hang around with the other folks, and let's all congratulate ourselves on our greatness and help to further what is a pivotal part in our San Antonio, the San Antonio Sports Foundation. From everything from the Final Fours to any of the myriad of community events, the 10Ks that are running, and all the other things. Who do you think's doing all this?
They are.
So
you know what? Next year when this event comes up, if I'm still here,
you will be.
If I've got a place in this market,
you're gonna be mayor by then.
I'll get a tuxedo going, and I'll head down there.
Yeah,
with
we'll go down there. And
I'll rub elbows with these bad boys.
With the important folk.
All right. We want to make some money tonight. And we made some yesterday.
We did. We're not doing bad.
We did all right yesterday. Let's take a look at the lines for today.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
And let's start in the association. Now, Rob, remember game 1, Cavs Celtics, opened 10.5 and got bet all the way up to 12. And we were like, man, that's high.
And it's even more now.
Wasn't high enough. So the book said, all right, let's make it 13 this time. And the betting man said, nope. And now it's 13.5. Did the Celtics win by 14 points tonight?
That is nuts. We're talking playoff game, second round. And they're a 14-point dog in Cleveland.
How much is Jared Allen worth?
Like, he might be worth exactly that. It's a ridiculous number. I actually like the over/under more than the spread.
What do you like? The total looks like it's 212s, 212 and a half.
I like the over on that.
Okay.
But I don't know about 14 points.
That total opened at 213 and a half, so it's gone down. People are betting the under. I mean, sometimes that's the way to do it. Wait till they bet it down, and then you jump back on the other side. Steam chasers usually lose. Like, if you're not in on the early move, you're usually losing. So if you like the under, you should have played it yesterday. If you like the over, now's the time. In the other game, the late game, and boy, this is something I got to really get used to. These because this would be a 6:30 start on the West Coast,
and that's an equal adjustment the other way. You know what I mean? That you gotta plan ahead.
Yeah, but what you can do is you can still go to bed at 10 o'clock, and you've seen all the games for the day. When you're waking up at 3:30 and the game doesn't get over here until 11, boy, that can be rough.
Yes, sir.
But the Thunder and Magic. So let's just hope that somebody's just kicking the crap out of the other team would be ideal, and I can just go to bed at halftime like the Nuggets T-Wolves game the other day. The Thunder, though, are 5-point favorites. They were 4-point favorites in game one. They covered easily. Do you expect the typical bounce back from the team down 1-0? You liking the Mavs here, or do you think the Thunder?
No Maxi Kleber tonight.
What's your lean?
I'm growing. Oklahoma City's growing on me. I didn't think that they were ready yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shea is. But, yeah, they're going to win this one. Again, I think that this is going to hold chalk for the first 4 games. I think Dallas is going to win at home, but they're not going to win tonight.
All right. So, I lean the Thunder -5 here myself.
That's not 5 is that's where it's going to land. This is a 5-point game, and that's why I run from that. Do you like over under on this?
218. I lean under because I like the Thunder. They've been playing good defense, and
I also will say
frustrating
for Dallas to win. Luka's going to have to control the pace, and for him to control the pace is going to slow things down a little bit. And if I was to bet the under, I'm running from this game, quite frankly.
And don't you think, Luke, if you're Luka and you've turned the ball over 5 times in the last couple games, you're going to want to slow things down, maybe be a little more careful, a little more thoughtful. That's the way I look at it as well. Looking at baseball, this threw me off a little bit. The Astros are at the Yankees. They've lost the first 2 badly to the Yankees. Ronel Blanco on the mound for the Stros. Marcus Stroman for the Yankees. The Yankees are -125 in the Bronx. And then I was like, well, what's the line for the Rangers game today? They have a game. And then I thought, well, Oakland must be playing today because they had to do the doubleheader yesterday. Oakland's off today too. Why'd they play a doubleheader when they could have just played the second game today?
Madonna scheduled another concert. It's going to be there at the Oakland.
Oh,
Stadium.
yeah. Madonna's going to be at the Oakland Coliseum.
There. Yeah, they're going to fill that. I don't know what that makes 0 sense.
Imagine Madonna in like the in the locker room, the A's locker room, and like someone flushes the toilet and it all overflows into the floor like it wants to do.
That is such a typical Oakland thing. I'm sure there's something like, screw Oakland. Let's just get them out of town.
How weird is
extra
that?
Time in Oakland.
There's always, I mean, when both teams have a day off, you would just say, okay, let's bump the game. We'll play it that day.
Now
very odd.
You looking at the Stros are a little worried.
I am, yeah.
Is it too early for a gut check game? Can we quantify, like, dudes, if there's anything here, we're going to have to see it today, even though the outcome really doesn't matter in the grand scheme other than just an L. I mean, but they were embarrassed yesterday.
Well, this is where I'm at. The Astros the Yankees are one of those teams where typically the Yankees, I always think that anybody who thinks their rival is the Yankees are probably kidding themselves outside of the Boston Red Sox. And the last several years, I don't know that the Red Sox have even been a rival to the Yankees. But most American League teams, like if you say list your team's 3 biggest rivals, the Yankees end up on that list.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Yankees look at the Astros as a rival, and I think the Astros look at the Yankees as a rival.
They're each other's measuring stick for sure.
At least in the last few years.
Yeah.
Now, this isn't going to last forever, but the Astros have had a run of success that has not been seen since the early aughts Yankees, late 90s, early aughts Yankees. So I think there is some comparison between these two teams where they look at each other as like, we want what the Yankees want, what the Astros have had, and the Yankees want to take, or like the Astros think we've got to earn this respect because Yankee fan and Dodger fans are the ones beating the table the loudest about cheaters and blah blah. So Astros typically want to show up against the Yankees, and the fact that they haven't showed up twice is really, really worrisome to me because if you're not showing up against the Yankees, who are you showing up against?
Well, you talk about showing up. The line opened at -135, dropped to 130, up to 140, back to 135.
Yeah. And again, the baseball line specifically, finding 10 cents at one book or another. That's why, man, it's hard in Texas. because you've probably got one or two offshore accounts, or maybe you've got a local guy. I don't know. But in Vegas, you can price shop.
Yeah.
And if you're not getting the best number, man, it's hard to win long term. But getting the best number is half the battle.
Right.
It does make things a lot easier. But yeah, if the Astros don't show up tonight, I'm going to feel like that discussion we had earlier today. I'm going to feel even stronger about it, because these are the games where typically the Astros would show up at their best, and they've just been dog water the last couple of games.
Now, as far as where the money is, I like the total 8.5.
Like
both teams had 11 hits yesterday. The weather's good. I think that they're going to see the ball again today. I think there's going to be a lot of runs.
Yeah. It's funny. The Yankees, I want to say they've been, I think they're the best offense in the league, or one of them. And they've also been shut out, I think, the most in the league. So it's feast or famine with him.
Dig the long ball, baby.
And as we know, Ronel Blanco has a no-hitter to his record this year. So
are we counting the whole thing? That's a real no-hitter, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, but I'm with you. I tend to believe that there's going to be a lot of runs scored in this game. And it opened at 9. There's mostly 8.5s now, but there's a couple 8s out there poking around.
No, I like the numbers. They're swinging it today.
In the NHL playoffs,
this is all you, baby.
Game 3, Rangers and Hurricanes. Hurricanes are -160 favorites, total of 5.5. And the Dallas Stars, favored once again, hosting Colorado, -116. I'm going to say this. I'm going to go over 6.5 again. This Colorado Avalanche offense has just been piling on everyone. And Dallas jumped out to a 3-0 lead. Still found a way to lose that game.
What's the number in the series?
It's 1-0.
One
road team. I just think this offense is just a juggernaut right now. And Dallas is now, I think that series with the Knights wore them out. Colorado had been chilling, and they coming. So I like the over in that 6.5.
If you like them there,
when it switches to Colorado, certainly like them.
And what do you think about the Avalanche overall? They do have the DNA.
They do. We'll see if their goaltending holds up.
There you go.
Man, boy, and goaltending's been. I'm not watching full games anymore. I'm just, if there's overtime, I'm turning it on. But that the Canucks and Edmonton Oilers game, they were down. They scored 3 goals in 5 minutes to tie it, and then won the game 5-4. They were down 4-1 in the third period, and Vancouver came back and won that game. That's crazy.
That is a Canadian on Canadian crime.
It was. And then the Bruins got up 1-0 against the Florida Panthers and gave up 6 unanswered goals. That game not competitive. So we've talked about a lot of competitive hockey games. That one not competitive. So my only lean really in the hockey tonight is the over in that Colorado Dallas game. So there you go. That's your look at the daily lines. It's funny, we talked earlier about the farm system and how important the farm system is to, like, if you're out of it, you start talking about the farm system.
The last bastion of the losing team.
The farm system came really early for the Pittsburgh Pirates this year. Paul Skeens, who, it took. This is a guy who was playing in the College World Series, dominating the College World Series.
Yeah,
not even a year ago.
I have very negative memories of Paul Skeens and the Bayou Bengals. He's good.
Boy, is he. Less than a year out from pitching in the College World Series, he has been at AAA Indianapolis. Most guys, year one, aren't at AAA, first of all. He's at AAA. And in 27 1/3 innings at AAA Indianapolis, his ERA is 0.99, 45 strikeouts in 27 1/3 innings.
What is he throwing, man?
What?
What is he doing?
Average fastball is sitting at 100 miles an hour, and he's got 4 other pitches. This guy is going to be something to watch. He was one of yours He was he showed up at the Air Force Academy in 2021 and was not a pitcher. He was a catcher. And as a catcher, he hit 410. And he was a closer. But he wasn't a full-time pitcher. He was a catcher and he was a closer. Had 11 saves. And then
how good was the pitching on that team that he was playing catcher?
He got into the transfer portal, goes to LSU, and the rest is history because it's crazy, man. This dude, he would. I mean,
I watched him last year. I have a question for you. As you know, as Major League Baseball kind of shuffled the way that the minor league system works, they were underpaying these guys, and now they're going to have to pay, and because of that, they exited a lot of different smaller rookie league teams. They're gone now. A lot of the minor league teams have disappeared over the last 2 years. How much more of the talent is staying in college now as opposed to before?
I don't really know. I'm not a college baseball guy,
because this guy would have. I think. Ordinarily, this guy would have been coming right out of high school playing someplace else. Why? How the hell did he end up at the Air Force Academy?
I don't know.
You know,
that's what I'm saying. Like maybe he was real big on academics. I'm not really sure, but
stupid books.
Either way, my goodness, he was the number 1 draft pick. It looks like for a reason, or no, Dylan Cruz was the number 1 pick. If I'm his teammate, so these guys, this guy particularly is something, man. They were talking about how he was burning 5,000 calories a game, the way he pitches. Like when you're pitching with that much,
it's like a hummingbird.
Coach had him eating honey throughout the games to like make up for it.
What? So where's this honey?
In the dugout.
And he's got honey in the dugout.
Yeah.
Does any honey end up on his fingers?
I don't know.
So it's for his diet. That's what we tell the ump, right?
Not for spin rate.
No, that's just honey.
He eats over a half bear, like the bears that the honey comes in. He eats over half a honey bear per game.
All right. Okay, so
they got to check him for the sticky.
I'm just saying, the dude's in the dugout squeezing honey in his mouth. I'm wondering whether is that a little sticky on the fingers, a little bit behind the ears.
I don't even know if they're checking guys in minor leagues. Do they?
I would assume so. They're frisking pitchers in the majors.
Well, that's in the majors.
You
can get away with a lot in the minors.
I want people frisked before they walk out.
I mean, I'd prefer it, but I don't know.
Squeezing honey all. No wonder.
But we'll see when Paul. I'm not sure if they've announced when his start's going to be, but we know that Paul Skeens called up to the big leagues. He is going to be a part of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Who, I mean, listen, this could be. This is a team that's just they've had guys. The guys get good, and then they go somewhere else. Well, Garrett Cole. They do the Garrett Cole.
What's the one that's been there forever that should have left? McCutcheon.
Andrew McCutcheon. He did leave for a while, then he came back.
Yeah, I think he should have stayed gone.
But no, good on him. He's 21 years old. They think he's major league ready, and they're sitting in last place. I'm sure there's probably having a hard time getting fans showing up. So they're saying, let's see what we can do.
And as is typical, he'll roll out and he'll have the first 2 outings. He is going to light them up.
Now,
then film will travel.
Oh, okay. So here we go. Now I'm seeing this. By keeping Skeens in the minor leagues until May 11th,
2 days from now,
he'll reach free agency after the 2030 season instead of 2029. So my guess is that Paul Skeens will make his Pirates debut on May 12th, which will that's going to be Sunday.
I appreciate the strategery for 5 years from now.
Seems about right. So Paul Skeens, I'm excited to see this guy throw. I mean, did he crush the Aggies?
He's vicious.
You said the Aggies. You think they can win it this year?
They've been number 1 3 weeks in a row. You know, they hired the TCU coach away from him a couple years ago. Typical Aggie, you can't beat him, buy him.
Yeah,
and we went and bought him. And he unlike Jimbo, delivered. This guy has brought the lineup. Had a transfer in from Stanford, one of the better dudes from last year. They are stock full, and it's a big baseball team, big and strong. I think they got a chance. We're going to Omaha.
Nice. Are there any other Texas teams that are live?
TCU is always tough. Tech's always tough as well.
Tech?
Yeah. Tech,
okay.
Tech always lines
What
up
about
pretty
Texas
solid.
isn't?
Texas is not as good as they've been. I don't follow those guys in Austin. I follow real baseball over the SEC.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fair enough. Oh, that's such an Aggie thing. SEC.
Yeah, we can't, we went and bought like bumper stickers and SEC all over. Now it doesn't even matter.
How are you
going to be putting them on?
How are you going to avoid that?
We're going to have to find some other thing that's just us right now.
Hey, if you want to go see Bricks in the Wall, Sights and Sounds of Pink Floyd at the Aztec Theater, that is going to be June 22nd at the Aztec Theater. We're going to give away a pair of tickets right now. Let's go with caller 7. What's that number again, Rob?
656-3776. And if you look on your dial, 3776
that's
actually
ESPN,
spells
isn't
ESPN.
Yeah, yeah, I knew that because my number in Austin or in Houston was 780-3776.
I think that's like like you go everywhere. Every town has an Eyewitness News.
Yeah.
Every ESPN has a 3776.
So Sights and Sounds of Pink Floyd, Bricks in the Wall, June 22nd at the Aztec Theater. Tickets available. If you don't win, you can get them at livenation.com. You, like we said, you're going to be rubbing elbows with the big dogs in the sports world of San Antonio tonight. Hopefully,
it's the Hall of Fame induction.
That's right. Are you on any of these voting panels? Ew, look at you. I wanted to hit one more story. I guess we got a couple minutes. I'm going to throw it out there. Today, Charles Lee agreed to a 4-year deal to be the Hornets head coach. This comes after I saw a story that kind of made me shake my head. There's a story that's in Oregon Live, which is like a newspaper up there in Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Chauncey Billups, the Trailblazers head coach, it says potentially coveted by other teams. Maybe there's there's been rumors that maybe the Blazers move on from Chauncey Billups. He's had 3 seasons in the league. He is 81 and 165. Do you really think if Chauncey Billups, if the Blazers fire Chauncey Billups, what franchise is saying, what? We got to get the Blazers leftovers. Look how good they're doing. We got to get what they're dropping off. Like, that's crazy that they think he'd just get another. And he's like, I'm tired of losing. Well, yeah, coach, that's kind of your job to make it stop. That's what I hear the most of these players who end up being coaches is like, I'm tired of losing. I'm not here to lose. Well, all right. Fix it.
A little effort.
And often they can't. You know why? Because they're players, not coaches. And it's hard for players to stop having that player mindset. You can't just play harder when you're a coach.
AJ, I recall when Chauncey got that gig, he wasn't even their first choice. He ended up being second. They wanted Becky Hammond.
Oh, really?
If I recall, Becky was a finalist, and the Portland crew interviewed some former players under Becky, and she'd only been with the Spurs, and unnamed Spurs did not give her the thumbs
up or the seal of approval.
The seal of approval was not given for whatever reason, and that's hearsay, rumor in the wind. But Chauncey, that has a sense. So it's 3 years. I have a sense that was laid out by his agent. I think other guys might like him. That 3-year deal is about to run up.
I think so, too. If you haven't had enough of us, we'll be back here at 3 o'clock with the guys on the Blitz.
We're done?
Today. Yeah, we're done for the day, man. Take the rest of the day off. Until 3 o'clock. Good times. We'll be back tomorrow. Cannot wait.
We have a
big guest tomorrow.
Incredible interview tomorrow. Incredible about our new stadium. You're not going to want to miss this.
Right here on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On your ride to